Hey everyone. I know it's Thanksgiving for Canadians, so
Yep.
thanks if you're joining us.
Absolutely.
I'm Mandy, also known as the Board Gaming Pinup Girl.
And I'm Michael, known as Pollum.
And today we've got a treat for you. We are taking a look at the game Battle for Souls by Robert Burke and published by Robert Burke Games. And, well, we have Robert Burke in the chat. So,
Yes.
if all of our regulars are here, that's awesome because I know that they'll be happy to hear that. And just if you have any questions about the game, well, Robert is here to help us out. So, thank you and welcome, Robert.
Yes. Yeah. Did you want to cover the where to find us?
Yes,
You're everywhere.
I know. Well, we'll get that all out of the way. So if you're looking for me, I'm on To Die For Games on YouTube and on Facebook. I'm also on Twitch and I guess technically YouTube as well when we're doing the live streaming, well, every Monday at 8. I'm also on Twitter, the Board Gamer Pinup Girl, on Instagram, Board Gaming Pinup Girl, and you can also find me doing Board Game Breakfast on the Dice Tower as well as the bi-weekly podcast for the Dice Tower.
Busy.
I know.
I'm on Instagram as Pollum, P-A-W-L-O-M. Twitter is Pollum21, and then here every Monday night. Twitch and YouTube simultaneous streaming. This is our second week trying it, so there may still be some kinks to work out, but
Yes.
it seemed to go well last week. So hopefully we continue that trend.
Yes.
Well,
All right.
shall I?
Yes.
Yeah, so we are going to be battling over souls. Mandy is playing the side of heaven, and I am playing the side of hell, thus the more themed attire. I'm going with the deep red shirt. I've got some thematic drink going like I do every week. So I'm playing as hell, Mandy's playing as heaven, and we're going to be fighting over souls. There will be souls set up in the middle, and we'll be fighting to get them onto our own side, and ultimately whoever gets the most points through souls or through unholy relics or a few other means will win. So we'll start with setup. So the first thing you're going to do is pick a side, which I've already stated what sides we're on, and you take your 50 card deck.
Oh, so Robert's online.
Excellent.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
So that's so funny. You're the first one. Usually it's super busy right now,
Yep.
so I don't know if it's because it's a holiday here or what, but well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes.
And we have someone up. Caliber, what's up?
Hello.
So we'll have more people pop in, and I'll keep an eye on the chat as they do. So thanks again, Robert, for joining us.
All right. So we start with our 50 card deck that has it's either going to be temptation or virtue, depending on the side that you're playing. I'll go over here. So for the side of hell that I'm playing, I've got temptation cards, and the exact same cards on heaven are going to be virtue cards. And there are 50, and the reason I state how many is you do not want to get confused with the VP cards that have the same back. So there are 10 VP cards. That's what they look like on the front. They're just worth 1 victory point, but they will get shuffled into your deck when you purchase them. So you will not be shuffling those in, even though they have the same back. It'll just be the 50 cards, and I'll show you the front of some of those, that will either have a color with a sin or virtue listed on them, or there's a card here called reap. So those will make up your 50 card deck. So you're going to set that up. Next up, you're going to have your Archangel or Devil deck.
Yeah. Hi, Nerfenstein.
Hey, Nerfenstein. So I think that's pretty obvious which side is going to be on which. And you will start with one of these at the beginning of the game. So we'll flip those up.
Yeah.
And I'll explain them once we start playing the game. But you start with that deck with one of them flipped up, and that represents your starting Archangel or Devil. Then you'll have the 10 VP cards that I mentioned sitting next to that. After that, you'll have either Sin or Intercession cards. And these will be usually unique powers that you can use during the game. So Intercession and Sin. And at the top, it also shows a cost of either 2 holy points or 2 unholy points. And I'll get into purchasing these cards later. After that, you're going to have your unholy relics or holy relics. And these are even more powerful than the sin and intercession cards. So you've got the holy relic and unholy relic. And those are worth, or to purchase, require 3 holy points or 3 unholy points.
Yeah, the artwork is really nice on this game.
Yes,
Very
and
much so.
the artwork is also referenced. So, for example,
That's right.
this is, I'm going to find one that not all of them I can necessarily show, but it is all actual artwork. So let's see here. Sure, I'll show my starting devil, Asmodeus. So there's the artwork for my starting devil. And on the bottom, it does give what the artwork is and when it's from. So in this case, it is The Great Red Dragon and the Beast by William Blake in 1805. So it's cool that it's got the history behind all the artwork as well.
I'm reading Robert's comment and was free. LOL. That's always a bonus.
Yep. Okay. So then we've got, then we're going to set up Earth. So basically what we're fighting over are these souls. So that's the back of the soul card. And each soul, I'll break down the card itself, will have points in the corner. And the way we're playing right now, all souls are worth 3 points. They're going to have either on the top of the card a virtue or on the bottom of the card a sin with the corresponding color as well. So you can tell at a glance, patience is always going to be red. Greed is always going to be that beige. And then these spots are how we track whether it's being currently influenced by heaven or hell using 3 dice. Now this isn't a regular die. Normally on a die, the opposing sides would add up to 7. So on the back of a 1 would be a 6. But you can see that is not the case. This is what would normally be referred to as like a countdown die in some games that track numbers. And the little arrow in the corner indicates which way you turn it to get to the next number. So looking at this backwards, I knew I'd screw that up. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to be other way, 4, other way, no, 5, 6. But you get the idea. I'm looking at it backwards in the camera, so that's why I'm screwing that up. But those are meant for tracking, and the way that will be tracked is when you have a soul in the middle, and you have it set to 1.
Let's switch to the other one.
Oh, yes. Let's go overhead.
There
we go. Okay. So when you have a soul in the middle, and you have the die in the middle, that indicates neutral. If you get 1 point towards heaven or hell, all you do is you move the die to that side, the corresponding side, and then if I get any more points on this side, then I start tracking it up, 2, 3, so on and so forth. So I know some people I've seen in comments were confused. Do they go from 1 in the middle to 2 on their side? No, that is basically 0 when it's sitting in the middle. When you get 1 point, you just move it to your side. So we're going to end up with 3 souls in the middle of the board that we're going to be fighting over, pushing and pulling back and forth, until a couple different triggers that can happen. And I'll get to those after we complete setup. The other thing that's going to exist eventually, so I'll shuffle these, but we'll have 3 souls in the middle. And off to the side will be Purgatory. There's a step during the game where you can reap, and that's where we sort of judge the 3 souls in the middle and decide where they're going to go. Any souls that do not go to heaven or hell just get sent to Purgatory. And if any cards get removed from the game, they go into what's called the void, and they're out of play completely. You can essentially consider them back in the box. So that is going to be set up. I'm going to do some quick bit of shuffling now that I've shown the cards.
Is that Alan? It looks like my coworker. I'm going to say yes, and very nice shirt color. I'm assuming you mean Michael's.
Thank you. Needed to go thematic for that.
Like, I'm supposed to be the angel, but we all know about Lucifer. He was really good and was not so good in the end. But just to say, I'm having water. So there you go. I'm being good.
I suppose I could cover my thematic beverage for the game.
Yes.
So playing the side of hell, I am going for Apothic Dark, which is a deep red wine. So that's thematic, and I love even their cork is a black cork with their A logo on it. So that's my beverage for this evening, sticking with the theme. Okay, so I've shuffled that. I did show that. I'll give that a shuffle.
Yes.
And then I'll give your virtue deck a
Oh, there you go.
as well.
Robert Delicious. He
Absolutely.
approves. Nervency, just a non-related note. Robert Burke is a super famous Aussie explorer.
there you go.
Good. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I'm learning new things. I feel like I'm going to have to go and Google this when I'm done. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, and then...
And for purposes of the game, everything is kind of shrunk a little bit. As in, like, we have less room to play with, so cards that would normally go here, we're just going to place slightly off to the side.
Yeah, we've got this is the second edition of the game, the deluxe version, so I've got I'll show, got some silver tokens here. So we've got the silver cross for the holy side, or the side of heaven, and then I've got these silver skulls for the side of hell. And the mats, we've got these silk mats that we're playing on. There are areas where we can play our unholy relics or holy relics and sin or intercession cards, but with the souls that'll be in the middle, and I'll set that up right now, there won't actually be room to place them. We've kind of scrunched everything together for the sake of the camera so that you get a bit of a closer look on the cards. So we're going to be playing those off to the side, but still within camera. You'll be able to see them. All right. So the way that we influence the souls in the middle, I'll show another soul. So again, looking at the worker, there's humility on the side of heaven, and there's wrath on the side of hell. We need to play cards that match those virtues or temptations or sins, if you will. And the way we do that, we're going to be starting with 5 cards.
Yes.
I'll go through the entire turn order in terms of what you'll be doing. There is a set order to how you do things, but the general gist is going to be playing, in the case of my hand, these temptation cards, and in the case of Mandi, they'll be the virtue cards.
Yeah.
So these are the colors that I'm looking to match. Now you're going to be playing poker hands, or loosely based on poker hands. So for example, you could also do sets of different colors. You can do pairs, 2 pair, 3 of a kind, so forth. And the stronger the hand, the stronger the reward that you get for playing that hand. So in this case, I could play 1 pair of envy, the 2 green ones, or I could take one of the envies out and play that as 4 different, because I do have a wild in there, which that I can play that as any color. And when you're matching them, when I play that hand, so say I did go with the 4 different, anytime I get to add holy points, or sorry, in my case, unholy points, it will have to be something that matches here. Now, in the case of a wild, I could put that anywhere, but let's say I did not have the wild. Let's say I had, I don't have anything up there. That's the bad part. So let's say I did have gluttony to go along with this. Okay, so instead of the envy, I had gluttony. I could use that only on the chemist because he has gluttony to modify the points. So in the case of 4 different colors, I'd be adding 2 unholy points. So it would go from neutral to 1, 2 towards hell. If you cannot match them, you could still get a bonus depending on the hand that you're playing, and you would just be losing the benefit of adding the points because you don't have any souls that you can add those points to. Or you can just not play. You have the option of not playing. But that is the gist of what we're trying to do, is matching those up. But I think we'll go through, got that covered. I think we'll just go through a round.
Yeah, let's see how
that should be enough teaching up front, but then you'll get to see how it works. All right, going first. Shall I?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Keep it going.
So on your turn, the first thing you do is using your devil or archangel, depending on your side. So again, here is the devil, my starting devil, Asmodeus, and it says at the top, +1 to lustful soul per turn. So if any of the bottom temptations or sins was lust, I'd get to move one of them +1. So it's like a starting bonus if you have any matches. Now, in the case of Mandy's starting Archangel, it is...
And it's +1 to a humble soul,
Okay.
so humility.
So there are 2 cards here. The Worker and the Chemist both have Humility. Mandy will get to choose one of those and automatically use it to add 1 to that soul. And there are ways to get more Devil cards. I'll show that when we get to it, and if we don't get to it, I'll explain how you can do that. So that's your first step, is using your Devil. I cannot. There are no Lust cards or souls out there. Next is purchasing a card. I'm going to skip that step right now because I am not able to purchase any, but I'll explain why when I have the when one of us has the opportunity to purchase. Next is then playing your hand. So looking at what I have, now during this step, you have 3 options and you can only choose one. You can play a hand using the cards that you have, or you can draw 1 card from your Temptation or Virtue deck and add it to your hand up to a limit of 8. If you already have 8 cards, you're not allowed to take that option. Or you can discard, and when you discard, you can discard as many cards as you wish from your hand so that you can try and get the full house or the 4 of a kind, get those stronger hands. But you don't draw back up right away. That's going to be at the end of your turn, and you only draw back up to 5. So if you already have 5 or 6 in your hand, you won't be drawing any more cards unless you take the draw 1 card option. So in the case of myself, I think what I'll do...
Oh, see, Robert did understand my Lucifer reference. I forgot that he didn't see it right away, so...
Okay.
He's watching us on the YouTube.
Right, so on a bit of a delay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. So what I would normally be trying to do as the side of hell, I'd be looking at what Archangel Mandi has to see what she can modify for free. So in this case, we said it was anybody with humility. There are 2 options out there.
Okay, and Robert, just interrupt.
Yep.
He said as a tip, relics are powerful.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, they do cost a bit.
Right.
And I'll cover the cost again once we have that option. But they are very powerful, and they're worth 2 points each as well. So normally I would try and grab one of the souls that Mandi gets to modify for free, but in my case, she's already got 2. So I'll try and grab one of them anyway, because when you're modifying points, so let's say, I'm just going to give a hypothetical here. Let's say Mandy's already got 1 point towards heaven for the knight, and I've already got 1 point towards hell for the worker. If Mandi goes to add points, she can only add to anything that is neutral or already on the side of heaven. She would not be able to add any points to the worker. Now there are ways that you can subtract points, and when you subtract, you can only subtract, meaning if there is 1 point towards hell and you get to subtract 3, all you're doing is making it neutral. You don't get to use the extra 2 to then add them to the side of heaven. So you are either subtracting or you're adding, you're not doing both. Hope that made sense. So back to my my actual turn here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with 4 different cards. So I'm not going to continually show my hand, but I'll show you what I'm doing this time around. So here's the 4 cards I'm playing. So I've got Lust, Sloth, Envy, and a Wild. And I'm going to use that Wild as Wrath. Because right now in my hand, I do not have any of the temptations or sins that are available. So I'm going to use the Wild as Wrath. And with 4 different, and I'll show what we're referencing here. There is a player aid that has turn order on one side and all your hand rewards on the other. I'm not going to read all of those out, but we'll cover them as we're actually getting them. So using 4 different, I get to add 2 unholy points to 1 soul that matches. So I'm using the Wild as Wrath. I will add 2 points to the worker. So 1 brings it over, and then 2 brings it up to 2. Those then go to my discard pile. Moving on with my turn, and this will go much quicker. Once you see how it's played, sometimes turns can just be drawing a card and that's it. But explanation up front. I can then use a sin card. We don't have any at the moment, so I'll cover that later when we do have them. I could then use an unholy relic. Again, don't have any. I can then reap, and I'll explain reaping in a bit. Then I draw back up to 5, so 2, 3, 4, 5, and then end my turn. So that's me, and it's over to Mandi.
All right, so I'm going to use my Archangel Uriel, which is going to give me 1 for humility here. However, not able to do that here because, well, we're kind of bordering into hell. So that takes that step down. Purchase a card. I will not be doing that. However, I will be playing. So I will play my hand, which has a wild. So I've made that to 2 chastity and 2 humility for 2 pairs.
Okay.
So this allows me to take a intercession card, an intercession card, excuse me.
Now, normally you have to purchase intercession or sin cards, and we did sort of, that is step 2 on your turn, but we don't have any points to use at the moment. So with 2 pair, she gets to take one of those for free. Once she's done that, she'll get to draw back up to 5, and she'll actually get to repeat step 3. She'll get to either play a hand again, or take a card, or discard cards.
So the intercession that I've taken is St. Anthony of Padua, and it's once per game. The intercession of St. Anthony of Padua adds 1 holy point or subtracts 1 holy point from all souls in play. But again, once per game.
Okay.
So now these cards are no longer usable. I still have my 1 card from before. However, I now get to repeat step 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Play hand, or draw 1, or discard.
First, you can draw back up to 5.
But draw, yes.
Yeah.
3, a 4, a 5. And then I have my options. Well, it's not wonderful, but let's see if I do 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I play 4 different colors.
So again, normally you only get to play 1 hand, even if you had, say, 2 pair in your hand. You couldn't play 1 pair and then play 1 pair again. You only get to play once. The reason Mandy's getting to play twice is that is the exception to the rule when you play 2 pair. You get to take a sin or intercession card, draw back up to 5, and then get to immediately repeat step 3.
So I get to draw, I get to add 2 to one that matches here, and I can actually match temperance.
Nice.
So we'll move that up for 1, and then another to make 2.
All right.
So these cards are now discarded. I will not be using my intercession. Holy Relic or card ability I don't have. We're not going to reap. And I will now draw back to 5 cards.
Yep. Okay. So normally the sin and intercession cards must be used at step 4 on your turn. There are exceptions. If the card says instant, then it can be used at any point. And if it has multiple uses, in the case of this card, it does say it's one time. But if it has multiple uses, that's what we'd be using these markers for, is to keep track of how many times we've used specific cards.
And to speak on Nerfenstein, it's a game that I need my magnifying sheet for. Yeah, the font is small, so it might be a little hard for streaming, hence the reason we're kind of reading everything out.
It would be for the Sin and Holy Relic cards.
Right.
The writing on those are somewhat tiny. For the actual majority of the gameplay, though, it's all color-coded. So all of the cards in our hand are just basically color. You know, Pride is purple.
Also good if you are colorblind.
Yep.
They are written. So.
And there aren't any soul. Again, I can't match anything out there. Oh boy, this is going to be rough. But the colors on the cards match the colors of these cards as well. So if Wrath is red, I could instantly see if I had any red in my hand, then I know that's a soul that I can modify. Okay, so starting with my my Devil, +1 to Lustful. Again, there is no Lustful up there. So then going on to purchase cards. So this is where I'll explain how you can purchase cards, because I do have the opportunity to do so now if I wanted to. Looking at the backs of my, I'll show the bottom card of each deck so that I'm not showing what's coming up. So I'll show my 2 cards that I can purchase. So Sin and Unholy Relics are the cards I can purchase. So looking at the Sin card, it says here that it is 2 unholy points to purchase. And then the Unholy Relic is 3 unholy points. And again, this is a very strong card. However, to get those, to purchase them, you're purchasing them using the points that you've built up on these souls. So in this case right now I have 2 on Wrath, and it has to come from 1 soul. I could only spend 2 because that's all I have, but if I want to, I could spend the 2 unholy points and take a Sin card. which would mean this would be left sitting at neutral again. And if it's neutral, now it's available for Mandi to take. And to make matters worse, that is what her Archangel modifies, is humility, which is on that card. And because I have no way to bring that back from neutral, I do not have any Wrath in my hand, I am not going to spend any of those points to purchase, because I don't want to lose control of that soul as well. Because if I do, then Mandi will have control of all three. And the way that maybe I'll cover reaping now. The way that you get those points onto your side, there's a couple ways. I'll show this die again. So looking at one die, again, you've got 1, 2, and 3. Once you go to 4, now there's the skull and crossbones on it. And that means that if there's a reaping, that soul would have enough points to go to the side of heaven or hell, whichever side it's actually going towards. And if you get it all the way up to 7, it's automatic. You get it to 7, it will automatically go to heaven or hell. And that is where you would then get another devil or archangel into play, which not only has the special ability that you get at the start of your turn, but is also worth 3 points. So that's great if you can get them all the way up to 7. Not always easy to do so, though.
And Robert makes a good point, but if she takes it, you can reap, and she may...
I can.
And she may get
if I have a reap card, yes. So there's the reap card that Robert mentioned is how you would then judge these souls that are in the middle. Like I said, you need to get them to 4 or higher to be able to get them to your side, but the way you do that is playing a reap card. When a reap card is played, you would look at all 3 souls. If they are 4 or more, they go to that side. If they are not, they go to Purgatory. But the only way to play a reap soul is if 1 or more souls have 4 or more points on one side or the other, you can play it. Or if all 3 souls are on the side of heaven or all 3 souls are on the side of hell, then you can play the reap card. So if the situation was like this, and I had a reap card, yes, Mandi has control of all 3, but I could play the reap card and remove all 3 souls before she has any chance to actually get them to 4 or higher. So you have to be careful that if you're going to control all 3, you want to get them up to 4 as quickly as possible before your opponent has a chance to then just wipe the board. But in its current state, neither of us would be able to play a reap card. Even though I might like to, so that I could remove the potential of Mandi controlling those, and that is the entire push and pull of this game.
Robert suggests, I would buy the sin, but I lose 50% of the time.
Well, by that math, you also win 50% of the time, right? So that might not be a bad thing. I don't know. Because I have no way to control anything at the moment, although you're the designer of the game, maybe I should trust your gut. I don't know, but I don't know. I'd like to have control over at least one if I can. So I have no way to modify anything up here. I'm not going to purchase. So we'll skip over that. I'm not going to purchase.
No purchasing.
Looking at
buy the sin.
I'm the one tempting people onto the side of hell.
Right? You've got your own devil on your shoulder.
Exactly.
You're playing hell.
I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play my hand because I'm not going to get any benefit unless I played 1 pair.
Robert's killing me over here. Lame.
So really the only thing that I have an opportunity to play right now is this, 1 pair. And if you play 1 pair, you get 1 VP. But when you get that VP, the reason it has the same back as your Temptation or Virtue deck, the reason it has the same back is because it will go into your discard pile and get shuffled in, which means once that comes back out of your pile, it's now just clogging up your hand. Yes, it's worth a point, but if you get too many of these too early, all that's doing is making future hands a little weaker because that's 1 less card that you can play. You don't get to match those for pairs or full houses. You're only looking at the other cards for that. So I will not play the 1 pair. I think all I'm going to do right now is... Am I even going to do that?
I feel like Robert and I play very similarly.
I'm just going to draw right now. Okay. So again, you only get to choose one of those options. Play, draw 1 card, or discard. So I drew 1 card. I could then use a sin card if I had purchased one, like Robert recommended, which I don't have. So I could play an Unholy Relic. Again, don't have any. I could reap, and again, you need the card to do that. So there are 5 reap cards in your deck. And if you have it and it meets those one of those three conditions I mentioned, that's when you could play the Reap card. You'll see that eventually. But I don't have one, and then I would draw back up to 5, but I already have 6 in my hand. That's the end of my turn.
All right, so I'm going to use my Archangel for humility, so that's just going to happen here for 1. Then I get to purchase a card if I so choose, which I will not be doing. However, I will play 3 of a kind.
Okay.
And 3 set of 3 of a kind, so it gives me 3 holy points to a single soul with a heavenly virtue that matches. So
very nice.
It now will be temperance, which is going to give me 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
That brings that up to 5.
So Mandy's got 5 on the night already. Yikes.
Okay, so we will dispose of the used cards. I have an intercession for right now. I don't think it's worth it. I get to add a holy point or subtract a holy point from a soul in play. Not yet. If I were at 6 here, I would contemplate that. But
from all souls in play.
All souls.
From all souls. In play.
So for me, it's not at that point yet. Soon, but not yet.
Yep.
No holy relics. I'm not reaping, and I just draw back up to 5.
Yep. So you'll see that turns will get much quicker as we start
some
playing.
Comments for you here.
Okay.
Ripped Punzel. Hello.
Hello, Ripped Punzel.
Lesson learned. Always buy the sin. This is fantastic.
Indeed. Okay. Let's see here. So first thing is using my devil, but again, there are no lustful cards out there, so I cannot use that. Oh, do I purchase?
And it's true. When I see drawing 1, because drawing 1 seems lame, but you eventually get a bigger hand.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that when I first played it, and then after playing it a couple times, I'm like, okay, no, sometimes that 1 can save you.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It does give you more flexibility in terms of making the full house or the 4 of a kind. Well.
Okay, sorry if it's been covered and if I missed it. How many souls do you need to get? And is that the win condition, like you save 6 souls?
No. So the win will be whoever has the most points at the end. Each soul in the version we're playing right now, each soul is worth 3 points. We're going to be going through the entire soul deck. When you're first setting up the game, I'll show.
And Robert did mention it too in the chat.
Okay.
You play a predetermined number of souls.
Yeah. So I'm going to actually show a couple souls here. You can see in the bottom there are letters A and B, and there are, I think it goes up to E in what I have, plus an extra set that is not labeled after that. And you can pick, that was this way, you can pick the length of your game that you wish to play by picking the sets that you're going to put into the soul deck. So we are currently playing with A, B, and C, which I think in the manual says it will be roughly an hour to an hour and a half to play, because you play through the entire deck. After we've done that, then whoever has the most points win, and you get points based on souls, your VP cards, your unholy relics, and some of the sin/intercession cards.
If people are having problems with finding the game, we will actually post links to where you can find it. So I know Cool Stuff, I think that's what Robert's saying is selling it. We can put that in the description of the video, just because I think some people are having problems accessing that. So. Okay.
All right. So I'm back to the question of, do I purchase?
Here we go. We're here again.
Okay, designer says purchase. I'll purchase. Why not?
Look at that.
So it's going to cost me 2 points. So this is going to go back to neutral.
Fantastic.
But I get a sin card. Ooh.
Oh.
Okay.
That can't be good.
There are 2 different types of sin or intercession cards. I'm going to show your intercession card as well. So this is the one that Mandi had pulled. This was an intercession card. And it's a one-time use. And it just sits aside until it is played, until you choose to play it.
I'm proud of you, my little Beelzebub.
And then this is the sin card that I just pulled. And you notice that it actually has a colored border. It's also going to be worth 1 victory point at the end of the game. And this card must be played on the round that it was obtained. It also gets to be played during step 3 and step 4. Now the reason is, because this has a purple border, I get to use this as a purple card, and in this case, that would be Pride. I get to use it as purple but I don't need to actually play it as purple. So what happens when you get a Sin or Intercession card is it's going to go off to the side. Now, normally it would go up top, but again, we're playing sort of squished everything in so that you can see it all on camera. So I'm just playing it off to the side. During step 3, which is happening now, where I get to play my hand, give me a second here.
And no problem, Epstein. Any questions you have, let us know. We're going to try and cover them as best we can.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm going to do.
I like where this is going.
I'm going to like where this is going. Thank you for the recommendation of purchasing a SIN card.
Oh, Robert, why?
So I'm going to play... I have 3 pride in my hand. I'm going to use that as a 4th pride and make it 4 of a kind.
Nice. I don't think I like where that's going at all.
So when playing 4 of a kind, there are 2 options. I get to gain, first of all, I get to gain a free Unholy Relic, which is fantastic, because that would normally cost 3 Unholy points, and it's worth 2 victory points, plus it will have its own unique ability. So there is another part to playing that hand, but I'm going to cover the Unholy Relic first. In this case, it is the Book of Vices. Twice per game, the Book of Vices can be used to draw up to 8 temptation cards instead of up to 5 during your current turn's draw phase.
Pretty good.
You get to draw all the way back up to 8 cards, which
fantastic.
that can be quite strong. So I'll set that aside, and again, that gets to be used twice per game. Once it's used up, it would then go into hell, because that is worth 2 points as well at the end of the game. So that's the first way that you can use these colored Sin or Intercession cards, is using it as part of your hand, but you don't physically discard it. It just represents that card. So the next part is using a Sin card ability. So now I get to use it for the second thing that it can be used for, which is the ability on the bottom. So it's always going to have +2 of 2 different types, or -2 of 2 different types. So in this case, it's +2 to Pride or Wrath, or -2 to Humility or Patience. So, I do have 2 Wrathful Souls out there that I could modify. Oh, actually, I completely forgot about my 4 of a kind. Yes, before I get that, I still get the benefits of my 4 of a kind. So I did get the Unholy Relic, and then I get to add 4 Unholy points to a soul that matches that. Unfortunately, there are no Prideful Souls out here, so I don't get to do that, but I do have another option. Or I can remove 2 Holy points from any soul in play.
Gee, I wonder which one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to remove 2 from the Knight. So instead of 5, that's now going to be down to 3. And the reason I'm doing that, 1, it takes it out of that range, because you need 4 to be able to get the points into heaven or hell when there's a reaping. Plus, if you get to 7, again, it automatically goes straight to that side, and that person will get another Archangel to use or another Devil, depending on which side it went to. So I'm trying to keep it away from that 7-point limit. So that was the rest of playing that card. That can then go into... actually, no, sorry, I still have to use these in. That was the rest of playing the 4 of a kind, which was great. I don't even know if I've had 4 of a kind in all the plays that I've played.
No, I don't think so.
So then I get to use that ability, and I think what I will do, because I did get you out of range there.
Nerfenstein, yes. She's so funny. She's going to a meeting. She's like, how dare they interrupt it? Yay, Tulsa, how are you? We were wondering.
Oh, good to see you.
Yeah. The game it's awesome.
Yes.
Honestly, it looks really good.
I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go -2 to Humility.
Oh, come on.
Although you get to pull it right back again. No, I'm going to go -2 to Humility and bring that back to neutral. So that was a pretty good, I'd say that was a successful turn, and that's going to be worth a point. That was using the Sin card. Then I can use my Unholy Relic card if I want. So this is when I would then trigger that. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to use that. So that's where you use the token to indicate that's the first use. And in the case of this card, it gets to be used twice. And the ability, again, is to draw back up to 8, which I'm now back at the drawing turn. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that is my turn.
Wow, how do you decide tonight to listen to Robert? Don't listen to Robert. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Please.
I'd say that was rather successful. Thank you.
See, don't convince him to use anything. All right, so we'll use my Archangel, which we'll just bring this up here. This is a sad state of fares, but I have no choice. But we're not going to purchase a card at this time, so instead I will use my hand of 2 pairs.
Okay.
Which will allow me to take a free intercession. Ooh, I don't like
again,
it.
Playing 2 pair, the benefit is a free Sin or Intercession card, which again would normally cost you 2 points, and that's how I purchased mine.
Well, unfortunately, it does nothing for me. But
it might, because don't forget.
I get to.
So I'll show this one. So this is the same as the one that I had gotten when I purchased it. So it's got the colored border. So in this case, on the side of Heaven, that's going to be Chastity. So she gets to use that in her next, at step 3, where she's playing a hand. She can use that as part of her hand, plus using the ability at the bottom as well.
So I get to now get...
So you have to draw back up.
Right. So this is gone.
Yep.
Okay, so 2, 3, a 4, and a 5. Well, that just is odd on all fronts. Sorry, didn't go the way I would have liked. However,
And keep in mind that you have an extra, what did I say that was for your side?
it's charity.
Charity, yep.
Yes.
An extra charity in hand.
Okay, so I think what we're going to have to do, not ideal, but...
Now, when you do play 2 pair, you can only play 2 pair once per turn. So when she's playing her hand again, you can't play another 2 pair after that. It would have to wait until your next turn.
Do I? No. Close, but no. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I said it, Robert's like, no. Yeah, I know. I was a little excited myself. It didn't quite go that way. So I have 3 different colors, which basically lets me add 1.
You can make it 4 different colors.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
I can make it 4 with this.
Yep.
So let's do that, which gives me 2 holy points. Yeah.
But, yeah, there's only one that you can use it on.
Right.
Yep.
It's this one here.
Yep.
So we'll take that 2. And we'll go 1 and 2. That goes away. This comes down here.
Now, it does have the second ability, like mine did, where she
Right.
can modify +2 to something on her side, -2 to something on my side. But in the case of that card, none of these souls match. So at that point, it just goes aside for points at the end of the game.
And yeah, so then basically I'm not deciding to choose anything else, and I'll draw back up to 5.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Robert. He said, so I had an option.
Okay.
And I could have drawn just the 1 to potentially get the full house.
Right, try and
Later
match some
on.
more cards up.
That did not work so well for me last game.
Okay, so it's over to me.
But I did get it was a good turn.
Let me see.
So while you're doing that, actually, I'm going to show my cards so people can see what I'm working with here.
Sure.
If anybody wants to play along.
Play at home.
Yeah, so this is what I have. If everyone wants to see. I know Robert's taking a look.
I won't peek.
Trust me, I need all the help I can get, so.
Okay, well, to start with, I cannot use my devil because there are still no lustful souls out there. Purchase a card. I do not have any soul points available to purchase with. So I'm down to playing my hand, drawing 1 or discarding. However, because I used my unholy relic that allowed me to draw up to 8, I can no longer draw a card because 8 is your max hand size. So at this point, I have to decide between playing or discarding. So I think what I'm going to do...
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
man.
kind of not great either, is it now? Ah.
Actually, this is not so good.
Yeah, I'm like, that's what I just said. I'm like, well, this isn't really what
And
I
the
was
reason
going
mine
for.
is not so good, even though I have 8 cards, ideally you're looking to...
I just realized, did I have... Oh. 4 of a kind. Did I play 4 of a kind?
No, you played 2 pair.
2 pair.
Yep.
Okay. But after that? I did. No, I did not.
No,
I did not.
No, you
That was
played
something else.
different. Yep.
Wow, I'm like going ahead of myself here.
The only soul that I can modify right now is Wrath, and I have no Wrath cards in my hand.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That
Out of
sucks.
8 cards, I have none in my hand, which is not good. So I think what I'm going to do then, I'm going to pull the Mandi. I'm going to play 2 pair.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta
Green
do.
Gluttony. So that will get me a free Sin card,
Yep.
and then I'll get to draw back up and play again. All right, and I have the Sin Sloth, and it is one of the cards that has the colored border. So first thing is going to be, I'll put the Sin card over here. First thing will be drawing back up to 5. Now in that case, it's only going to be drawing 1 more card because I did have 8. And then I get to play again, counting that as a card in my hand.
It's a lot of back and forth. A lot of back and forth.
I have 2 options here. I'm going to be playing 4 different cards. I have a Sloth in my hand. So if I wanted to, I could actually keep that in my hand and use this Sin card as a Sloth, because that is the color of the border, and make it 4 different cards that way. However, I think I'm going to ignore that and just play the Sloth I have in my hand to make it 4 different cards, because right now that card is doing me no good in future hands for the souls that are out there. So I'm going to go with 4 different, playing it this way, which will get me 2 to a single soul matching one of these. And Wrath is one out there that is neutral right now. So I'm going to use that to get 2 points onto the worker.
Oh, I guess that would have turned from last turn, eh?
Then, sorry?
No.
Oh, if you had taken that,
If I had taken that instead of
one way or the other.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, but it doesn't matter.
You get to grab one. I would have grabbed the other.
Right,
so,
exactly.
Because I did have Gluttony in there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So then I get to use this, use a Sin card ability, so I can add to Sloth or Greed. There are none. Or I can take away from Diligence or Charity, which there are none. So that will just go to Hell for points at the end of the game.
Point to point.
And I think I'm going to use that again. So using my Unholy Relic the second time means I get to draw back up to 8.
I like some unholy relics,
2,
darn
3,
it.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that was the second use, which means that now goes over here for endgame scoring. And that is my turn.
Well. Oh, boy. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. All right, so use my
For those at home.
Oh,
No
sorry.
peeking.
No, I didn't even know that's what you were doing. Okay. All right, so I'm going to use my Archangel to knock that up 1.
Yep.
And then I will not be purchasing a card. I will play 4 different. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Okay, which gives me 2 holy points to a single soul, which will go 1. So basically,
Very nice.
that's going to
So
come
if you got
to
the
me.
Knight to 7, so it automatically goes right to heaven.
Yep, so that come to me. I have a little area, so bear with me. And that's going to happen. I'm not going to use my intercession.
Before you go any
Yep,
further,
sure, go ahead.
because that did go straight to heaven, she also gets a new Archangel to use.
That's correct. Sorry, I was reading Robert's comment. Uh-oh. LOL. I'm like, what did I do?
No spoilers.
That's all I heard, so I'll try not to read it. So I get one of these if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I get an Archangel. So
Now,
Azrael.
When you have multiple Archangels or multiple Devils to play, you're just picking one. You're picking one ability and picking one soul to modify. But that gives her more flexibility in terms of which one she can add to. And each Archangel or Devil is worth 3 points at the end of the game as well.
So now I'll just draw back up to my 5. 3, a 4, a 5. All right. That's interesting.
Okay?
Yes, sirree, Bob.
All right. So first off, using a Devil.
And before you go,
Yes?
I'm just going to show what I have coming up.
Okay.
If everyone wants to see my hand. Okay.
All right. So
All
first thing is using the Devil. There are still no lustful souls out there. Next is purchasing a card. I could, but in this case, I will not. And I think Robert would approve of this play.
Oh, boy.
Next is playing a hand. And this is my first time getting 5 of a kind.
No. Is that what you're telling me now? 6-point play? Is this what I'm reading?
So, yes.
Oh,
so
wow.
with the... and yours was a 6-point play, getting it to 7.
Right.
because you got the knight worth 3, and you
Okay.
got another archangel worth
Right,
3.
worth 3, so a 6.
But I'm about to do the same thing.
Oh.
So both of us are getting 6-point plays.
I thought he was telling me, like, well, thanks for the heads up,
No,
Robert.
no, you actually did have a 6-point play
You are
there.
correct.
And I'm about to pull the same thing.
Oh,
So
shoot.
getting 5 of a kind.
Wow, that's really good.
The first thing is I get a free Unholy Relic card.
Sweet.
And in this case, it is Death's Hourglass.
I feel like your way was more impressive.
Oh, I'm not done yet.
Great.
There's my free Unholy Relic. Twice per game, so it does have multiple uses. Use Death's Hourglass to roll the die on any neutral soul in play. If I roll the skull and crossbones symbol, I get to steal a soul from the top of the soul deck that has not been revealed. And this soul goes directly to hell, and then place the roll die back on the original neutral soul. So basically you have a 50-50 chance of just taking a free soul. And I get to do that twice.
Yep.
Okay, that was the first step. Let me carry on with 5 of a kind. In addition, the player may add 5 unholy points to a single soul with a mortal weakness that matches the card, or I could remove 3 from any soul in play. I'm going to choose to take the 5. So 5 on Wrath means this one goes straight to 7.
Yep.
So I get the same play that Mandi did, where I get that soul going immediately to hell for 3 points. And because a soul went immediately to hell, I get a new devil card, and in this case, Belphegor, +1 to slothful souls.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that was worth it. So that's going back to a 1. So that's neutral. That was playing my hand. Then it's using a sin card. I do not have any. Then it's using Unholy Relics. Why not? I will use this.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I get to roll one of the dice, a die from a neutral soul.
Oh, wow.
If I roll the skull and crossbones, I get a free soul.
That's pretty slick.
That would be a free soul, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, look at that. Isn't that nice?
I will just pull this soul right from here, and I got the model. So that's another 3 points.
Wow, you don't even get the one that's in play? That's unfortunate.
Nope, just get to grab one off the top of the deck.
Oh,
Then it's
goodness.
reap if any of the conditions were met. First off, you have to have a reap card in your hand, and then you have to match one of those 3 conditions. I'll go over those again when the situation actually arises. That is not the case right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then draw back up to 5. So I've got 3, 4, and 5. That's me. And that deserves a drink, I believe.
Yeah,
That was a free soul.
that's hilarious. Okay, so with that being said, I will start my turn with using Uriel, which gives 1 here. And then I will, blah, 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 what do I want to do? Well, if I had enough, I would actually do that, but I'm not going to do that. Oh, I could do that. I didn't even think about that. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to play. Put that over here. This is kind of hard to see now.
Mhm.
Ooh, maybe I'll put it here so you guys can see. So I'm playing 2 pairs.
Yep.
Including Diligence and Patience. So it really is just going to affect that. Well, sorry, no, it's 2 pairs.
Yep,
My
2 pair,
apologies.
yep.
So I actually get a free intercession. I always want
Yes.
to jump ahead here.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Resurrect once per game. When a Reap card is played, prevent any one soul from going to Hell or Purgatory. Instead, include in the next set of souls and set it to neutral.
Okay.
So that's going to happen. Now we're going to draw back up to 5. 3, 4, 5. And I will, instead of playing, I will actually draw 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So again, the 3 options are play a hand, draw 1 card, or discard cards. That gives you the option to draw more at the end of your turn when you draw back up to 5.
And I will actually just show everybody what
Sure.
I have,
Mhm.
and you can get an idea. Okay. And
now you could use an
intercession,
intercession.
but I don't really think it's really worth it at this point. Although I'm kind of tempted to do it. Once per game, the intercession of St. Anthony adds 1 holy point or subtracts 1 holy point from all souls in play. Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. So we're going to leave that alone.
Okay.
And then I'm ready at my max.
Okay. All right, over to me. So
Nope.
using a devil, yes.
Before I start.
Sure.
Really? Ooh. I guess. Yeah, I guess I could do that. And it's funny. I
What's-
thought about
what's
doing that.
the-
So Robert's saying use St. Anthony and reap, and that's what I was contemplating because I could add one. Really, we'll just add it all, but these are going to go away anyways, and
Yep.
this would be the one that I would get. And I thought
Yep.
about that, and I'm like, but then again, you're right. Like, what's the harm in doing it now? What's the point in waiting? So with permission, fine sir,
Yes.
I would like to use...
You'd like to backtrack?
Correct!
Yes. So there are conditions for going back if you've missed a step that you want to repeat. You do need to, it does, according to the manual and the designers here, you do need to first ask permission if you can go back. And it is up to the opposing player to either give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And then you need to agree on every step going backwards. Let me see here. Okay, I'll give you the thumbs up. You can go ahead.
So, and it's funny because literally I was just talking it out and I'm like, no. And I'm like, why am I saving this for like this huge thing? So thank you.
So first it would be, you wouldn't have drawn up, right? So you would
Right.
need to put back the 4 cards, or how many cards did you draw?
1.
Oh, right, because you
Remember?
just drew a
Yeah,
card as your...
and I know which one
right,
it is,
yes,
so-
yes, yes. I was thinking
Yeah.
you drew up at the end of your
So
turn.
technically, yeah.
Yep.
So this one.
Okay, actually, hold on.
Yep.
It
it up.
wouldn't be that, because I was thinking you had drawn back up to 5, but you're right, you only drew the one card.
Correct.
And, okay.
So it wouldn't have
Didn't
affected.
you didn't use any unholy relics.
I did
So
not.
then it would be using your sin ability or intercession. In the case of
Intercession.
your
So
side.
technically it would
Yes.
just be, yeah. Going
So you're
back to
good there. Yep.
So we'll do this intercession of saints. So we're going to use this, which allows me to add. So really, I could add it to all of these.
Yep.
However, let's just.
So we'll show it.
Sure,
Yeah.
show it.
So what that ability does, and it's a one-time use.
Yeah. So this is gone.
It's adding 1, and in the case of the way that Mandy's using it, adding 1 holy point to each soul in play. So that one goes to 1, that one goes to 1, this one goes to 4. And that is important to show that, because the next thing you're going to do requires these. No, it doesn't. Once you have that at 4,
Yeah, they're gone.
cancel that.
Yeah.
I'll discuss that after. Yep,
Because
that's fine.
because in this card specifically, it says to, well, yes, actually, never mind. Intercession of Saint, 1, yeah. So we've used that.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, so then we go to unholy relic.
Right.
No.
Because now,
Reap.
exactly. So this is where it's
All right,
important.
so I'm going to show the
Yes.
reap card again. So here's a reap card, and each deck has 5 of these, and it does have the conditions on when you can play a reap card. There are 3. You need to have at least one of the 3 conditions. So the one that Mandy actually matches 2 of these. So if at least one soul has the 4 or more greater points to be able to get it onto your side, you can play a reap card. So it could even be 1 point on my side, 1 point on Mandy's
Right.
side, and then the 4, she could use the reap card. Another condition is having them all on one side, like all on the side of heaven, or if they were all on the side of hell. So let's say that was the case. It was 1, 1, and 3 all on Mandy's side. That's when I would want to reap, because Mandy's got strong control of the board at the moment. I want to get rid of those before she has a chance to actually increase them. But in this case, she does have 1 at 4.
Thank you.
She's going to play that during the step 6 of her turn, which is reap. And then this is where we judge the 3 souls that are out there. So 4 points on the chemist means that goes to heaven.
Thank you.
These other 2 are not high enough to be able to go to heaven, which means these then go to purgatory and are set aside here.
So, Robert, I was just being greedy. That's why I didn't want to use it. I thought, no, let's get more. Who am I kidding?
And then 3 new souls come out at neutral. Now, one thing that you do have to be aware of looking ahead is that when you reap on your turn, that means your opponent then gets first shot at the 3 souls that are out there, getting to trigger whichever devil or archangel they wish, trying to pull something away from you before you have a chance to pull those options. Okay, so you reaped. Now your hand size is good at 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still good.
Okay, so back to me. All right, so using a devil now on the cards that I have available. Slothful, I do have the reader with sloth, and I do have the artist with lust. So then it comes down to they are both kindness, and you are not able to modify kindness.
No.
So it doesn't really matter at this point which one I grab.
It is close game, but I'm waiting for him to like come out with this crazy hand.
That was last turn. That was my 5 of a kind.
Oh.
It doesn't get any crazier than that. That's
Nuts.
that was fantastic. Okay, let's see here. I am going to use. All right, I will take the point on the reader using Belphegor, which adds 1 to a slothful soul. Then it's purchasing a card, but I don't have enough points to do so. Playing my hand, or drawing a card, or discarding. I will not play at the moment. As a matter of fact, I think what I'm going to do...
So, no, you didn't miss the end. We're still kind of chugging away here. Yeah, Robert's keeping everyone up to date on the chat.
Okay. I'm just going to draw. Not looking good. Okay. Then I can use a sin, which I don't have any. I could use my Unholy Relic. Yeah, why not? I will use my Unholy Relic. So again, this lets me roll if there is a neutral soul in play. I get to roll the die, and I have a 50-50 chance of taking a soul off the top. So this will be the second use. Come on, the count.
Ha!
No, that was a 2. That went off screen, but that was a 2, so that is no good. That goes back to neutral there. No benefit, but mathematically speaking, I tried twice, I hit once. That's the 50-50 chance that I had.
Pretty good.
I'm okay with that. And the Unholy Relic then comes down to hell for points at the end. Reaping, I cannot. Drawing back up, I have 6 cards. That's the end of my turn.
All right, so I get to use my Archangel, and we will use this here on Charity. Make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yes, for 1. I will not be purchasing a card, and I will actually be discarding cards. So I'll be discarding 3 cards. Okay. That's going to go there. My Intercession. No, we're not using that at the moment. I don't have any relics to use. I'm not reaping, so I'm going to draw back up to 5.
All right. And that's where hands can start getting played much quicker. All right. Well, let's see here. I can modify Slothful or Lustful.
I'm surprised the dice aren't moving on their own in this video as well.
This would be a game very similar to, well, that was in Apocrypha, yeah.
We still have time.
The same type of thing? Yeah, you never know. They could move. We'll see. All right, I'm going to use Asmodeus to move Lustful, so I'm going to bring him to my side. And now what that does is, basically I had 2 options. I could bump up the reader to 2, and then I'd have enough to purchase a sin card, and maybe Robert would have approved of that play. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify this 1 to 1, and now I'm controlling 2 of the souls. So Mandy's only left with 1 that she can modify right now, unless she gets a strong enough hand that would let her subtract from my side of the table. But at least I'd be forcing her to play it to subtract as opposed to adding on her side. That's my theory anyway. But the expert's in the chat, so he might have a different theory. All right, so that was using my Devil, purchasing a card. I do not have enough. Now I can play my hand, or I think I'm going to discard as well. I'm going to discard 3 cards. Getting rid of those right now. So those are the reap cards, and they are not doing me any good right now. There is no opportunity to reap in the near foreseeable future. So I'm going to get rid of those.
Robert, valid theory.
Okay, thank you. that got a thumbs up. So that's good. Using a sin, I don't have any. Using an Unholy Relic, I don't have any. Drawing back up to 5, and that's my turn.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh boy.
So I'm going to use my Archangel.
Azrael.
To knock that up 1. We won't be purchasing a card, but I will play a hand.
Here we go.
No, I will not play a hand.
You don't have the matching...
No, I have it,
virtue?
but I had an idea, and I think that is not what I want to do.
Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate. In my mind, something was there, but it's not there, and I'm like, that's not going to work. So, you know what? I actually will purchase a card. I don't think I've done that at all this game. So, in order to purchase my card, I'm going to get rid of these cards here. So, 3 of a kind. Sorry, purchase a card.
Purchase a card?
Yeah.
So you're going to spend the 2 points here?
Sorry, the 2 points. Why did I do that?
Okay.
1, 2.
Neutral, yep.
Yep.
So that gets you an Intercession card.
Oh my gosh, my mind I'm playing. And that gets me...
Yep.
Yes.
You spent 2 to get the...
Intercession. Excuse me, yes. And that gives me the Guardian Angel.
Okay.
3 times per game, the intercession of the guardian angel can prevent 1 unholy point from being added to any soul in play.
Okay, so I'm going to show this specifically. I think this is the first instant one we've had in play. So normally, I'll show the difference as well. Normally on a sin or intercession card, it says that it's once per game or twice per game, but it can only be used during step 4. So right after you play your hand is when you could pull the trigger on this. But some of them have this bar right here, which might be hard to make out on that screen, but it says instant, which means you can do it at any point. It doesn't need to be during step 4. So in this case, it would actually be on the opponent's turn, because what she would be doing is preventing 1 unholy point from being added to any souls. Now, the way this works is it prevents 1 point 3 times, but you cannot just use it 3 times all at once. It would be, let's say I'm adding 3 unholy points to the reader. Mandi would get to use this 1 time to remove 1 of those points, so only 2 would be added. And then on a future turn, she could then prevent it again, so up to 3 times. But they can't be on the same addition, if you will.
Mm-hmm. So, okay. So I'm actually going to now play the hand I was going to play earlier.
Okay.
And
you're a little excited here. Go right ahead.
Oh, yeah, I got a little excited there. So I'm going to play my 3 cards, which is 3 of a kind, which gives me 3.
3 charity, yeah. So 3
gives me,
3 of a kind, 3 points. Yeah,
1,
absolutely.
2, 3.
Very
Get
good.
that back exactly where we had it. And that will, I'm not using an intercession, or am I? No, we will not be doing that. And we'll draw back up to 5.
Okay. So back to me. I will look at my hand.
Before we do that, I'm just going to show everybody what I'm working with. And okay, perfect.
Okay. First thing I will do is add a point using Belphegor, adding 1 to a slothful soul. That brings the reader to 2. I will not purchase a card. Will I purchase a card? Ooh.
Will I?
Oh boy. You know what? In this case, I might actually purchase a card.
Oh, interesting.
Because, getting into a bit of the strategy here, the inner thoughts of my mind, Mandi is 1 point away from getting the count within that reaping range. And if I do not spend these points, and she does get that to 4 and is able to reap it, all of these are going to be wiped from the board, and if I don't have enough points here to actually reap it myself to get the points for it, I will have no benefit with those 2 points. So I think what I'm going to do is I will spend them. This may be creator approved. Spend them, 2 points to get a sin card. And the sin is apathy. Once per game, I can gain 2 1VP cards to my discard pile, or remove 2 1VP cards from my discard pile and add them to hell. So what that means is once per game, I get to add 2 of these 1-point cards, the 1-point VP cards. And these are the ones I described at the start of the game as well that have the same backs as my Temptation deck. Because what happens is these cards will get shuffled, they go into the discard pile and then shuffled into your deck. Once they're in your deck, they serve no purpose. They'll just end up clogging up your hand. So that's what the second part of this card means, is instead of grabbing 2 more, if I already have 2 in my discard pile, I can instead remove them from my discard pile and just put them into hell for end game scoring. And then that way, they're not clogging up my hand at all.
So a couple things from Robert. Expansion, Blessings and Curses lets you add a curse or blessing cube, which prevents 1 point for the other side. And yes, good job. You play hell well.
All right, thank you. Decades of practice. Okay, so that was purchasing a card, and that is a one-time use. And I can use that during the use a sin card ability of any turn. It doesn't need to be this turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait until I'm through my deck the first time. Once I've shuffled and I'm on to my second playthrough of my deck, I think that's when I'll pull the trigger on purchasing those. I don't want those coming up when I shuffle my cards, so I'll wait. Playing my hand. I'm going to play 2 pair. So I've got 2 green and, 2 envy and 2 sloth. That will get me a free sin card to start. And it is the sin envy. So I can use that. Again, only on this turn. It must be used this turn. So I get to use it during playing a hand, which I will get to do again because that's playing 2 pairs the only time you can do that. I get to use that as as envy because it's got the green border. But before we do that, I do draw back up 2, 3, 4, 5, and get to play again. Ooh. I have options here. You weren't looking at that, were you?
No, that's just in the chat.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Reading.
I'm going to be playing it anyway, so you're going to get to see it.
All right.
3. Okay. Yeah. This works. So if I go, let me see here. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to play 5 different.
Nice.
So 5 different colors lets me add 3 unholy points to a single soul with the mortal weakness that matches any one of the cards played. Now in this case, I also have a wild card in there, which means it can go to any soul. And I think what I'll do, adding 3, is I'm going to bump this right up to 4. So now, even if Mandi does pull the trigger on this, getting it to 4 or more, and then reaps, I'm going to get something out of that as well. Because
but wait, I
yes?
would like to remove a point from that.
And there it is. So that is the instant intercession card.
Demon!
That is the instant intercession card that Mandi has that lets her prevent 1 point from being added, or sorry, in my case, 1 unholy point from being added to a soul. So instead of going to 4, that's only going to go to 3. And even though it has 3 uses, like I said, she can't just use all 3 on the same play. So she did remove 1, which then takes it out of that range of being able to get points. I will continue on with that thought though. If I did have 4 here, whenever somebody reaps, it's not just the person that plays the reap card that gets the points. It's whoever has points on their side of heaven or hell. So let's say Mandi had 4 on the count and I had 4 on the artist, and Mandi reaps, she gets the count, I get the artist, because we do have the appropriate points there.
Smited. Darn right.
Okay, so that was my 5 of a kind. 5 different. I can then use a sin card ability, so I could use one of these, and it's just 1 card. So let's say I wanted to use both. I need to pick one or the other, and in the case of this card, it must be played on my turn. So let's see here. I've got 2 to envy or sloth, or -2 to kindness or diligence. All right, so I will add 2 to sloth, bringing this up to 2. That then goes for endgame scoring. I do not have any unholy relics. I do not have a reap card, so I cannot reap, and I draw back up to 5. Over to you.
Okay, so I will use my Archangel for charity here. So,
Yep.
Up to 4. With that being said, the phone here. I have to make sure I'm doing this properly. And then that will do. Okay, and that works, and that works. Oh, I could do that too. Okay, so I'm actually going to purchase. So I'm going to take 2 off of here.
Okay.
Oops. Well, it'll be 2, but I just took a shortcut.
That's all right.
And I will buy an intercession. Purify once per game. Select a soul at random from the Purgatory pile and release it to heaven.
Ooh, nice.
That's all right. Can't complain there. Moving along here, then I will play. Oh, I just realized something. Nope, that works out fine.
Okay.
Actually, does it though? Does it though? Does it? Okay. That's good. And I will now.
This is a new thing for me. I actually do have access to chat. Normally, I don't have access to chat. It's off on the side. I'm too busy with the teaching and taking care of the program we're using for streaming. But in this case, because we're dual streaming, I do have access to the chat. This is new for me, and I do see a comment from Joe Robert.
Yep.
Saying that you like what we do, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. This time, not a game for him, and that's absolutely fine. This is one of the reasons we do these. You can see ahead of time if it is a game for you or not, and if it is, here's how you play. But appreciate the comment. Thank you.
Okay, and I'm going to... Okay, I had something else I was going to do, but I've since changed my mind in that moment.
Okay.
because I don't feel like backtracking. And I will draw a card instead of playing.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, glad I did that. And intercession. Select a soul. Well, you know what? I don't see why I can't do that now.
Why not?
So I'm going to use my intercession of Purify to take a soul from the Purgatory.
From Purgatory. Yep.
And come to heaven, my child. There
Very
we
nice.
go.
And that's why you do need to keep Purgatory and the Void separate, because there is the potential that cards that have been discarded but only gone to Purgatory could come back. Whereas if a card is removed from the game and sent to the Void, they can no longer come back. They're basically back in the box.
So that's going to be it for me. I cannot draw back up because I'm at the limit. I just want to show everybody what I'm working with here.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's pretty darn fantastic. And yeah, that'll be the end of my turn.
Okay, so over to me. Let's see here. Slothful or lustful? I still have two options there. And I think the clear option is lustful, because from 3, that will go to 4.
Or will it?
Or will it? Only you can answer that question. So Mandi does have the option with that intercession card to prevent that point being added.
You know what? I'm going to leave that right there.
I'm going to leave it. Okay. All right.
For now.
So then I can purchase a card. But I will not. I am not going to purchase.
Do you mind if I just take a look at this?
By all means.
Thank you.
It is quite important to keep track of what the opponent's
yeah,
abilities are, because sometimes you might not notice that they have an ability that will just add 3 points somewhere, or add 1 point to all souls. So you need to keep track of what their archangels or devils can do, and any special relics or sin or intercession cards that they have in play. Because all of that can sneak up on you sometimes. Yeah, I will not purchase. I will play. And I'm going to play, I'm going to do it, yeah. I'm going to play 4 different. That includes Sloth, so that I can add 2 points. 4 different adds 2 points to anything that matches those, in this case, temptation cards. Adding 2 here to go to 4. Do you have any response to that?
Sure do.
Yeah? What would you like to do?
So I think that I will take a point away.
So you're preventing one of those points. So she's only got 1 more use on that card. All right, next up is using a sin card. I will still not use that one yet. I don't have any unholy relics. I cannot reap. I draw back up. Over to you.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting.
And for those playing at home,
I will use my Archangel here. Wink.
Yep.
And then purchasing a card I don't think would be wise at this point. And I have a set of 5 different. 1, 2, 1. Actually, I could do that, actually, now that I think about it, if you don't mind.
what's that?
I keep confusing my hand with my die.
That's okay.
So I think
Purchase
then,
instead?
well, no, because then if I do that, that's going to be a problem for me later. I could do that, and then that. Oh, that's bad. No, 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 no. Oh, that's just evil.
Even though you're playing the side of heaven, doesn't mean you cannot be evil.
I know. That's
By all
what I do
means,
wonder.
be evil.
Forget what I just
The
said.
devil approves of this.
I'm just going to draw 1 instead.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm getting there. 7.
Looking to make a stronger hand.
Yeah, and you know what? That totally did it. So yeah, unfortunately, there's nothing I can do with it now. No, no, no. So we're not going to do any of that. I have now drawn back up, and that's the end of my turn because I'm
Okay.
way past it. I know. Robert's laughing at me because my brain is doing 5 different things. Okay, let me just show my hand, and maybe he'll see why I changed my mind.
I fear what could be coming.
Okay.
Even though I'm playing the side of hell, I fear what may be coming.
No, it's just, some decisions.
Okay, so first thing is using one of my devils. Let me see here. that's unfortunate. All right, I'm going to add one here.
Okay.
So that's using Belphegor, adding one to a slothful soul. I don't think I'm going to purchase, as much as I would like to. I'm in a situation right now where I'm okay.
No, I could prevent that, couldn't I?
Would you like to?
Yeah, it's my last
Okay.
one. So
All
this
right.
is done.
I will thumb up the. It's not quite a backstep, but yes.
Because you can use it whenever, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then that's gone.
All right. So now I don't have to worry about that card anymore. At least that's out of play.
Yeah.
So since you did prevent that then, so it was a bit of a backstep.
Robert, stop that point. Yes, I did.
So because I did allow the backup, because it is a backup going back to using the devil,
Right.
I had already said I wasn't going to purchase, but now that we're back to that step, I actually am going to purchase
Yeah.
because that is no longer at 4.
Right.
I am going to, do I drop that right down to 0 and take an unholy relic? Or do I keep it at 1 and just take a sin card? Ooh, let me see here.
Like, what do I do?
I think what I'll do is I don't want to completely relinquish control over it. So I'm going to drop it down to 1. So spending 2 unholy points and grabbing a sin card.
Hey, those cards are doing pretty well.
And that got me Witchcraft. I'll show a long shot of that card. I will not show a close-up. So Witchcraft, once per game, choose 1 soul in play and give it the same number of unholy points that any other soul in play has. The soul chosen must not have any holy points.
Sorry, repeat that?
Interesting. You're actually going to get to see it.
Oh, all right. Never you mind then.
You'll get to see it. So I've purchased a card. Basically, it's letting me add the same number of unholy points as any soul in play to another soul
Nice.
that does not have holy points.
Okay, okay.
And that will be happening. So yes, you will get to see that.
Oh.
So let's see here. Then I get to play a hand, which what I have right now is not going to help me. So what I'm going to do instead is just draw a card. Yes. Okay. That is what was drawn, but I was playing at home. Then I will use this ability. So I will use the Witchcraft. So again, once per game, choose 1 soul in play. I'm going to choose the artist. And I'm going to choose the reader for the effect and give it the same number of unholy points that any other soul in play has. So the artist has 4. And I can only do it on a soul that does not have holy points. So I could not add here. So I'm going to get to add 4 points onto the reader. So that's going to go all the way up to 5.
Nice.
One-time use, that's out of the game. Unholy Relics, I don't have any. Reap, I do not have any Reap cards. I'm already over the 5, so I'm good. Over to you.
Okay, so we are going to use my Archangel to knock this to 4. That could happen, actually. Then I will...
It's cool watching people play something you created and then enjoying it. That's from Nerfenstein, and Robert is a green, so that's great.
Did you read the next
It's,
one?
it's good that we're doing your game justice. I don't want to play either of them. They will spare me.
Maybe you.
It would be interesting to see. I highly doubt there would be a spanking, but I would love to try at some point. That would be great.
1, 2, 3, 4,
And
5.
Nerfenstein just had a Kickstarter delivery.
Yahoo!
Ooh.
Okay,
That's a weekly occurrence here, which is not a good thing. That's I've backed way too many projects.
So I'm gonna buy Holy Relic, which
Okay.
I haven't done yet.
Yep.
So we'll take that down to. I can't do this backwards. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
We need to take that down to what was I at 4?
Yep, so you're down to
so
1.
So my Holy
So
Relic.
she's spending 3 holy points.
Holy Relic is Saint Cecilia's Virginal. Twice per game, you may count a Reap card as a wild card. Ooh, I like where that's going. And Holy
Nice.
Relics
Okay.
are technically supposed to be over here. I know
Yep.
we're a little tight, so just give this a little smushy smush.
And that was how many times per game?
I think it said twice.
Twice. Nice.
Yeah.
So the Reap cards that you have in your hand normally only serve the purpose of playing during the reap step to actually judge the souls that are available. You cannot use those for making pairs or any of the other hands. But the holy relic that Mandi just pulled lets her use a reap card twice per game as a wild.
So now I'm going to play 5 different.
Yeah, you are.
Which brings that right back up to, gives it 3 holy points. So it's going to bring
right
it
back up to 4.
Right back up to 4.
Very good.
And then, I feel like this might be the way to go because I don't really know what you have in your hand. Interesting. I don't know. So when a reap card is played, prevent any one soul from going to hell or purgatory instead, include it in the next set of souls and set it to neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's kind of nice too. Because regardless, it's either I give you one now or one later, or you take it away from me later. So I will actually, I'm not going to use, so I've already played.
Yep.
Use intercession or card ability. So this is kind of a funny one. So I guess it would be played on your turn, not my turn.
No.
Or
it'll
can
be
I play?
Played, it'll be played during a reap.
Oh, don't worry,
It's
Robert.
when a reap card is played.
I'm reaping.
Yes.
Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
I can see what's coming, and it is definitely the right thing to do.
Yeah,
for sure.
no, for sure
You
that's
need
happening.
to stop the bleeding.
Yeah,
You
I need that to
yeah,
happen.
yeah.
So if he gets one, yeah, better than 2. So I will play a reap card.
Yep.
Here. And, yep.
So normally, with a reap card that gets played, we then judge these souls. So at the moment, this is at 5, this is at 4. I would score both of these, and Mandi would score the count because it is also at 4. All 3 of these will actually go somewhere because they're within that 4-point threshold. However, Mandi has that intercession card,
Which is now going to be in use.
which is
Allows me to prevent one of the souls from going to hell or purgatory, and it will be included in the next set of souls, and it is set to neutral.
so which one are you choosing?
This one.
Okay, so this one, instead of coming to hell, gets reset down to neutral and will be in the next set. So then you get the count.
Thank you.
I get the artist. Yeah, that is definitely the best play.
Yeah.
Because the way it was, I had very full control of those 2.
Absolutely.
And even within range of getting them directly to hell, I wouldn't even need to reap necessarily, and I'd get more points that way.
It's unfortunate
So-
that I don't get a, Archangel out of the deal, but we'll have to work on
She
that.
was giving me some points in the process, but she was preventing more points that I could have had, that I had the potential of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd rather do that, and then I get to draw back up to 5.
Yes.
2, a 3, a 4.
Okay, so back to me. We've got
5.
fresh set of souls. This one's back to neutral.
Oh, well,
Let's see here.
well. I'm just
So
going to show
slothful or lustful.
people playing along at home and Robert, because I know exactly what's going to happen here.
All right, let's see what I've got here. So I'm going to use Belfour to add 1 to the reader. Get control of that again. Not enough points to purchase anything. Playing my hand, I will play 5 different cards, counting it as envy, and with 5 different, I get 3 unholy points added here. So 1, 2, 3. I can then use a sin card. I will not do that yet. No unholy relics. I will not reap. Back up to 5 cards. Over to you.
So unfortunately, I cannot use any of my archangels, which is ridiculous.
And again, that's something you do want to watch out for. Now, in this case, Mandi can't match any of the 3 that are out
Right.
there. But with that fresh set, the first thing I looked at was, what can Mandi modify with her archangels? If it's something that I can grab control of first, that's what I want to do. Get it onto my side, and then it nullifies those abilities.
So I won't be purchasing a card. I will, however, play a card, or I'll play all my cards. So I will play Full House. So
Oh, what now?
a Full House. So a
Oh,
pair. and
yes, with that
because
reap
of
card.
this, so now I've used that once in the game.
So again, reap card is normally only good for reaping, but in this case, with that unholy relic, which is a very strong ability, that now becomes a full house instead of 2 pair.
So I have to use it slightly differently than I would have liked,
Yep.
because I do not have any matching.
So this one, so basically the cards that she has
Traits.
here is kindness and charity.
Correct.
I already grabbed control of the only soul that has kindness. So she's not able to actually modify that, or not able to add to it.
Right.
But you do get a use out of it.
Correct.
So first thing is, with a full house.
So I get to gain a free holy relic.
Yep, so we'll do that
Which
first.
I don't mind if I do. Holy lots. Oh, I remember lot, but I don't know if that's what we're speaking of. Twice per game, use holy lots to roll the die on any soul with 1 or more holy points. If you do not roll a skull and bone symbol, double the number of holy points on this soul. If you do roll a skull and bone symbol, return this soul to neutral. Oh, so it's a gamble.
50-50.
Yeah, well, we know how that goes for me because I'm a terrible dice roller. And then on
The queen of dice rolls.
oh yeah, and then I can actually, in this case, remove a holy point from any soul in play. So
yes, with the full house, to have it as a benefit to her, it would be adding 3 holy points to a single soul that's matching the virtue. Now in that case, she doesn't have any souls that match the virtues she played. So the alternate use is to remove 1 unholy point from any soul. It doesn't have to match.
So, I mean, I could technically move it here back to neutral. That doesn't make any sense because next turn you could easily just put it right back to where it was. So I will take it from here.
Okay, so dropping that down to 2.
Please and thank you.
All right.
And I believe that is as much as I can do in this turn. So I will end my turn and draw back up to 5.
Holy relic.
Because I have this twice per game. I get to roll, but I'm not doing that.
I'm just going to throw that over here
Yep.
with the
Sorry,
holy
yes,
relics.
holy
Yep,
relic.
no, that's
I
okay.
keep putting an intercession.
Yep.
It's because I'm not using my little.
But yeah,
leaf.
there's nothing there that you're looking to
No.
use. So all right, over to
3,
me.
4,
So
5.
first thing we'll be using a devil. All right, so I could modify sloth. I could pull this one over and have control over all 3.
I just need to show this hand before
Absolutely.
you continue.
Yep.
Because I think Robert will get a good kick out of it.
But if I do that, that is one of the conditions that you can play a reap card. I obviously would not trigger a reap in this case because it's going to wipe the whole board before I have a chance to get any of them up to that threshold of 4 or higher. But it does open the door for Mandi to play a reap card and wipe the board before I have a chance to get it to 4 or higher. So I will not modify that one. I will modify this one up to 2. I could then purchase a card. Looking at my hand for the first time, just realized what I have here. Not liking it.
No.
I could purchase a card, eh? In this case, I will not. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard. I'm going to hold that. I'm going to discard 3. Using a sin card, I'm still going to wait on that. I'm almost done my deck at that point after I've shuffled. Then I'll bring those in. Unholy Relic, don't have any. Reaping will not. Drawing back up. 3, 4, 5. Over to you.
All right, back here. Cannot use any of my archangels. Cannot purchase anything. I technically could play at this point. It's a matter of do I play is the question. You know what? Can't hurt. Can't hurt because it really, I mean, it's just a gift. So I might as well. So I will actually play a full house. And
Again,
I will,
you've got
so
that,
that happens, but this card is now
Very nice.
no longer usable. But I get some points for it. Nothing
Still
to
worth
cry
2
about.
points. Yep.
And because I'm playing a full house again, I get to take a free Holy Relic. Blessed Thurible. Once per turn, the Blessed Thurible can reset a single soul in play with 1 holy point to neutral. Okay. I like where that's going.
Okay.
Okay, so with that being said, I can now use an intercession, which I don't have any. These are actually done.
Yep, and I'll give you your deck to shuffle. If you
Yes, thank you. Very kind, sir. And Reaper we're not having, so I could use a Holy Relic card or ability. That seems kind of fun, doesn't it? Because it says to roll the die on any soul with 1 or more holy points,
Okay.
which I kind of like. So, interesting. Very interesting. I'm almost wondering. Oh, this is like so nerve-wracking.
That was this one?
Yes!
Roll a die on any soul with one or more holy points.
Which I don't have any,
don't
so
have-
I
yeah, you
can't
don't
use
have-
it
you don't
anyway.
have.
I got all excited for nothing. So never you mind. We'll leave that for now. However, I will... Actually, I can't do much. That's all she wrote.
Okay.
So that's the end of my turn.
Drawing
I
back
draw
up.
up to 5,
Yep. Okay. What did I have again? What useless cards did I have? Yeah,
Wow.
so
This is random.
that's not looking so good for the current situation.
I'm just going to show everybody what
Yep.
I've...
So the first thing
here.
I'll do is I'll
Whoops.
add 1 to
There
the
we go.
reader, bringing that up to 3, using my Belphegor Devil. I could then purchase a card and... Ooh. Do I, is the question.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to do that, didn't we?
What's that?
No, I did. Didn't I? No, I did. I removed a point when I played my full house.
Yes.
Okay.
You removed it from this one.
Okay.
This was at 3.
Okay, just making sure. Yes, yes.
And your reasoning
okay.
was there was no point
Yeah,
removing
see, Robert
it here.
said we didn't remove a point.
No, this one was at 3, and we
Okay.
dropped it down to 2. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I remember you saying that you weren't going to bother doing this one because I just bump it back
Right.
up again anyway. Yep.
Okay. I know, I thought so too. I'm like, did I actually do that? I thought the same thing. I thought I didn't do it. So.
But now you have me thinking, and I'll go back and I'll watch the replay
know, right?
afterwards when I'm looking
He
at this
says
through
I
the
did
video.
on the
But
first one, but I didn't do it on the second one. I felt that I didn't do it either.
The second, what?
When I played 2 full houses, right? I played the first one,
Okay.
and then I played another.
Okay.
But he said he may have missed it. So I thought I didn't, but Michael's saying I did, so we'll go with that. It's fine.
If you want to remove a point, go ahead.
But in the event that I did forget, just it should
Okay.
have happened. No,
Okay.
it's totally fine.
Okay.
We'll have to now go back and see.
Yeah,
if
now
I
I'm going to want to
missed
see.
it.
Now I'm going to want to see. All right. Yes. Okay, so where was I? Using the devil, I've already done that. Purchasing a card, that's what I was thinking of. Let's see here. I don't like my hand. What can you modify? You can modify...
I got all excited about my full house.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to spend 3 points.
Wow.
No, I'm going to spend 2 points. I'm going to spend 2 points. Because I can modify this one using my devil card, I don't want to lose control of it. So I'll just spend the 2 points, keeping it under my control to take a sin card. And it is False Witness. Twice per game, when you choose to draw 1 card during step 3, you may add 1 unholy point to any neutral soul in play. That's not bad. So I'll add that to my sin
Repertoire.
cards over here. So that was purchasing. So then playing my hand, as you can see, that's pretty useless. Like I was saying, reap cards serve no purpose unless you have something that says otherwise. Serve no purpose other than reaping, and I will not be reaping in the near future. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch these 3 cards.
Okay.
And then I will not use a sin card yet. I'm almost at that point. No unholy relic. I will not reap. I will draw back up to 5, so that's 1, and then I'm going to be shuffling these. And then you can go ahead while I'm shuffling.
Yeah, sure. So using Archangel, well, that's not going to happen. Purchasing a card, that is also not going to happen. I can play 5 different. So 5 different.
Okay.
So I can actually make some moves here. What does it say? So I can add 3 holy points. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Yep, that's going to happen there. And then I said it can use an intercession card ability. Whoa, I'm so scared. I want to use it, but I'm scared.
So at this point, they would be holy relics, because those are the holy
Sorry,
relics.
yes, I jumped ahead there because I
Yep,
don't have
that's
any
okay.
intercession.
Yep.
Holy relics is where I'm at, actually. However, I will. Well, I almost feel like it's a waste, but I don't know when else I would use this, to be quite honest. It says once per turn, the Blessed Thurible can reset a single soul in play with 1 unholy point to neutral.
Okay.
Or, I know. He's like, lots would be fun. Yeah, I'm a terrible dice roller, so this could end very badly for me. But then again, it's like, what do I have to lose? Well, I have plenty to lose. Okay, you know what? Let's just go for it. So I'm going to do this.
So I'll read that out for people that don't know what this does. So twice per game. Use holy lots to roll the die on any soul with 1 or more holy points. So you've got the one option here. It has 3 on it. If you do not roll a skull and crossbone symbol, so it's a 50-50 chance, you double the number of holy points on this soul. If you do roll skull and crossbone symbol, then you return it to neutral. So lots to gain, lots to lose.
And I didn't read that properly. Robert's correct. This stays in play. I don't lose it. So once per turn, I can actually reset a soul and play with 1 unholy point. So I can actually put that to neutral.
Okay.
Now, do you have to choose?
Yes, you can only use 1.
1.
Yep. So take your pick.
Oh.
That could be a huge swing, but it's a big swing.
But it's a big
yeah, both ways. You got a 50-50 chance. You could go right to 6, and then you only need 1 point to bring it
Okay, you know
straight
what?
to
I'm
heaven.
going to just use this one. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to close my eyes.
And you're looking for skull and crossbones, right?
No, I don't want skull and crossbones.
If you do not roll skull, oh, right, devil. Okay, so yes, you're looking for skull and crossbones. As far as I'm concerned, you're looking for skull and crossbones.
What'd I get?
Oh, 6. Skull and crossbones.
No, come on. I knew it. Why do I bother with these things?
The queen of dice should not be taking a chance with dice.
I
so
know.
that's reset to neutral then. So is a 50-50 chance of gaining 3 points or losing 3 points. It could be a big swing.
That's garbage.
Well,
All
it
right.
will be a big swing one way or the
Well,
other.
let's just draw back up to 5 and pretend that never happened. Or this ever happened? What is going on here?
All right, so that was you. That was your gambling experience.
That was
I don't know how you rolled 18 with 3 dice twice in our play of Apocrypha. That was crazy. A 1 in 216 chance, and you do it twice.
Or with, what game did we play? And I had like the craziest roll. Tiny Epic Galaxies. But I can't seem to do it here.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm up for up next. Using my devil, I will bump that up to 2. Get it out of range of that holy relic that you have there.
Yep.
Then I could purchase a card. I will not. Oh, I still have... these are awful. I'm looking at my hand. Yeah. There is nothing there that I can use right now.
Okay.
That's not cool. Do I just keep ditching? Yeah, I think I might. Oh. Okay, I'm going to discard 3 cards. Using a sin card ability, I will. So now that I've been through my deck one time, I think I will pull the trigger on... Yeah, I'm going to pull the trigger on Apathy. So once per game, you may gain 2 VP cards to your discard pile. So that's what I'm going to do.
That's what Robert's talking about right now.
Yeah,
VPs.
so 2 VPs going in.
This is not looking good for me, might I
No
add.
unholy relics, no reaping. Over to you.
Wow, we're still here. So, Archangel, not going to happen. Purchasing a card, well, that is also not going to happen. So I will actually discard because this is just disturbing on all levels. Actually, I could just do all of that. No, I'll just get rid of 3 cards.
Okay.
Can I use an intercession? I don't have any. I can use a holy ability. No, I cannot. Well, no, I cannot. On any soul with mono, yeah, so that's not going to happen either. Reaping is not going to happen, so I'm just going to draw back up now. Oh, what am I doing? 1.
All right,
2,
so back to me, using Belphegor to bump that up to 3.
I just show my hand. Oh, this
And
is
I
a
still
problem.
have no cards I can use, which is really awkward.
Yeah, this hand is awkward.
Do I wish to purchase?
Ugh, this is awful.
I am not. Huh. I am. Oh boy. Okay. No, that doesn't.
Yeah, that's been me all game. Yeah. Oh no.
If I do that, you're just gonna pull it back again. Yeah. That. What is that one called again? Blessed Thurible. Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. Okay. That's tough.
Yeah, spend that card. Spend the monies.
I will not purchase. I'm just going to ditch 3 cards again.
Mm-hmm.
Not using a sin ability. Over to you.
Wow, this is sad, actually, what's happening in my hand right now. Yeah. So basically, none of these things can happen again. So we're going to... I'm going to discard 2. I'm not using anything here. And I'll just draw back up. Oh, for the love of Pete.
Okay.
I got to show this because it's all kinds of hilarious.
Okay, here we go. So, Belphegor will add 1. Oops, Belphegor will add 1 to the reader. So that's now at 4. Purchasing a card, I will not. Playing a hand, I will. Now, I'm not going to get the full benefit out of this, but I need more cards. I just need to keep pulling cards. That's why I've been throwing stuff away. But in this case, instead of throwing cards away to pull more, I'm going to play 4 of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step with 4 of a kind, I get a free Unholy Relic. So we'll take care of that first. That saves me the 3 Unholy points that I would normally need to spend.
Yep.
Death Pump. Once per game, when you add 7 or more Unholy points to a soul, gain 2 new devils instead of 1.
Wow, that's pretty slick.
Okay. So that will be set aside. Now, the second benefit to 4 of a kind is I can add 4 unholy points to a single soul that has this this weakness. There are none.
Yep.
Or I could remove 2 holy points from any soul in play. There are none. So I'm kind of losing half the benefit of playing this, but it did get me an unholy relic, and it will let me get more cards to hopefully find something that will be beneficial for the souls that are in play. Using a sin, no. Using an unholy relic, that's if I get to 7. Reaping, no. Over to you.
Okay, so we're back here again where I can't do, using Archangels, I can't purchase a card. I can play, and I'm going to do the exact same thing you did, 4 of a kind.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't have anything that matches, so it's going to be kind of
so you're in the same
boat.
Well, actually, you can still
you can still
remove.
Right.
Yeah,
so I get a Holy Relic. Holy Grail. Ah, the Holy Grail. 3 times per game, the Holy Grail adds 1 holy point to all souls in play that have at least 1 holy point.
Okay.
Okay.
The holy get holier.
Holier get holier. And now I get to remove 2 holy points from any soul in play. Obviously, I'm going to remove it from here.
Okay. So that's down to 2.
And now we're back to here. I don't have any intercessions. Can I use any of my abilities here? That's not going to happen. That's also not going to happen. And that's not going to happen. So I can't use any of those. I will be drawing back up to 5. All right. Well, that's something.
Okay, using a devil first, adding 1 again to the reader. We're in a big battle over these 3 souls. They've been here for a while now. Yeah, sometimes a soul will get reaped. Like sometimes you'll have them reaped within a turn or 2. But these ones we've been fighting for a bit over these.
I know.
Okay.
I know people watching are like, come on, get these going.
Purchase. You know what? I'm going to purchase. I'm going to spend 3.
Yep.
So that's down to neutral to get an unholy relic. Let's get something powerful here. The Gallows of Woe. And I will have a question for Robert on this. I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but this card is one I wanted to get confirmation on. So first off, it is an instant card, so it can be used at any point. Once per game, at any time, you may use Gallows of Woe to reap any soul in play. So say, for example, I had one that was at 4 and I just wanted to get it off the board, I could do that. Or if Mandi had one at 6 and I didn't want her to get to 7, I could just give her the 3 points by reaping that soul. Or reap one that was close to getting to that 4-point threshold. Anyway, but the question I do have for Robert is, and you probably know where this is going, that has no VPs listed on it. I think that's a misprint because all unholy relics should have 2 points. And when I check the holy relics, there are no single cards without a VP. So I think that might just be a misprint, but if I could get confirmation just to make sure, that would be great. I did see a question in the BGG thread as well. The same question, and there wasn't an official confirmation on that one yet. No VPs. Okay.
Ah, okay.
Then I will answer that on the BGG thread, because there was one answer from somebody just assuming that it should be worth something, but it was left at that. So I'll go back to that and give it a proper answer then. Thank you. Okay, so then yes, that is used for.
No, yes, it is a misprint.
Oh, it is a misprint.
Yes.
Okay, so it is worth 2
Yeah,
VPs.
it is
Okay,
worth 2.
good. That's what I figured it would be, because all of them are worth 2. So good to know. All right, so I purchased to get that. So then playing a hand, I will play 5 different. 5 different is going to get me 3 unholy points on anything that matches, and with the wild in there, I can play it on anything. So I'm going to put that right back up to 3. I could then use a sin card. I will not. I could use an unholy relic. I will not. And I'm going to draw back up. Over to you.
All right, so we're back where we started here. No Archangel. I'm not purchasing, but I will play 2 pairs.
Okay.
I will play 2 Charity and 2 Humility.
Yep.
Which basically allows me to get a free intercession card. Once per game, the Intercession of St. George can destroy 1 unholy relic. The unholy relic targeted is sent to the void, removed from the game completely.
Ouch.
Yes.
For an intercession card, that's pretty strong.
That is very strong. Whoa. Okay, so now I draw back up. 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the most random hand I've ever. Seriously. Oh, come on. All right, so unfortunately, I'm not going to play. I will actually just draw 1.
Okay.
And I will now use... Oh, I could use my intercession. Well, isn't that special?
So these are the unholy relics
So
over
let's see. Yeah. What do we
so
got?
this one lets me reap any soul at any time, once per game.
Okay.
And this one, once per game. If I get to 7, then I get to take 2 new devils instead of 1.
Oh, don't like that at all. And it's also 2 VPs.
It is.
So I think I will do that. So
that's
that's
gone?
gone and
All
this
right.
is gone.
Out of the game. Oh,
I like that.
just destroyed an unholy relic.
I don't think I can use any of these, but I'll double check. Add one of my souls in play that have no. So I think we are good, and I'm at my max.
Okay. All right, so I will use Belphegor to add 1 here. Brings it up to 4.
So we'll definitely try to pull these through a bit faster.
Yep. And I am definitely about to do that. So I'm going to play 4 different. Using Envy to add 2 to this soul, bringing it up to 4. That was playing my hand. I will not use a sin card. I will not use an unholy relic. I will reap. So I'm going to use the reap card to judge the souls that are in the middle. Which means this one and this one are both going to hell.
That's unfortunate.
And this one goes to Purgatory.
Can't win them all. I needed that to be gone, however, because it was just not working for me.
So these get reset. And I will draw back up, and it's over to you.
All right, so I can actually use an Archangel this time on Charity. So this will come up here for 1.
And that's where I was saying before that one thing you do have to be aware of is when you do reap, make sure it's worth it, because once you do, your opponent then gets first shot at those fresh souls that are ready for the taking.
Purchase a card is not going to happen. I can play or I can discard. I'm actually kind of happy with that, but I am not so happy with these. Oh, well, I am kind of happy with that. Okay. This is a chancy sort of thing that's happening, but it's like I want to roll, but not on a 1. A 1 seems kind of senseless to
It's
me.
not that big a gamble, but it's not that big a gain, right?
I know, so it's like, So I'm going to leave it. At least get it to a 2. That would make
Okay.
me feel like it's worth it. So I'm just going to draw.
At least at a 2, if you did get it, it would put you at that 4 where it could then be reaped, right?
And that's my turn.
Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Lust and Greed I have available. So Asmodeus will give me 1 to Lust. I cannot purchase. playing a hand.
Garbage. Oh, I forgot to show my hand. My beautiful hand. Not.
I'm not liking my options here with this hand. I do like using this sin card though. So here's what I'm going to do. On my play a hand option, I'm going to draw a card, which then triggers this sin ability. So I'll read that out again for false witness. Twice per game, when I choose to draw one card during step 3, I can add 1 unholy point to any neutral soul in play.
Nice.
So that's the first use of that card. So this is neutral. I get 1 point for that. Unholy Relic, I will not be using that. No reaping, I can't draw. Over to you.
Okay, so using my Archangel, that I can do. So charity here, knock it up 1. Okay, so my hand is garbage, and this is making me very irritated, actually, on all levels. So I think I will actually... Wow, that's a problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will actually draw 1.
Okay.
I know that seems ridiculous, but... Wow. It is ridiculous, but it is what it is. And actually, that brings me up to my max of 8.
Okay.
And then Intercession I don't have. I will use a Holy Relic.
Okay.
And I will, yes, return this to neutral.
Yep.
So it allows me to return that to neutral. And
that is a great one.
That's
yeah.
a really good one. I love that. And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. So back to me. Asmodeus will jump that up to 2. Purchase a card. No, I don't want to drop that down and have that continually triggering.
Mm-hmm.
So what I will do then on my... Yeah. Wow, that is always in play. I'm going to draw a card. And I will... it just seems foolish to trigger that.
Does it?
But it will never... There will never be an option... Yeah, no, I'll just do it. So I'll trigger that to bring that back up to 1. There will never be an option where that is not out there.
Yes.
And bumping it up with this is going to be after I've played my hand. So it's not like I can bump it up 1 and then increase it beyond that. So I'll just use it, which that was the second use. So it is now out of the game. Unholy Relic. No. Reap. No. I'm done.
Okay, so this hand is really starting to annoy me. But anyways, we're going to do this, bumping up with my Archangel, Charity 1, purchasing a card. I don't think that to be wise at this point. So I will play 4 of a kind. As you can see, it doesn't match anything that I have.
Mm-hmm.
However, I will gain a free a free Holy Relic.
Yep.
Pardon me. St. Martina's Frond. 3 times per game when you play a pair, you put the victory point card in your score pile instead of your discard pile.
Nice. So that avoids it going into your discard pile and clogging up your hand.
It's kind of nice, actually. Yep. I like that.
And 3 times per game, you said?
Yep,
Very
3 times per game. So now I can actually take 2 away from you. So I will take 2 from here.
Okay, so that's down to neutral.
Yep.
And just as a reminder, as I said at the start of the stream, when you're removing, that's all you're doing is removing. So for example, if she had chosen here, even though it has 1 point and she was removing 2, it wouldn't be 1 point to neutral and 1 point to the holy side. All you do is remove, so it would only become neutral, so she'd be wasting 1 of the points there. But using the one that had 2 points, she removes the full 2 points.
So I do have, I don't think, I could do that now, actually. Oh, I could actually do that. I can use my Holy Relic, Intercession, don't have. Holy Relic. I can use this one here. 3 times per game, the Holy Grail adds 1 holy point to all souls in play that have at least 1 holy point.
Okay.
So that would make this a 4.
Yep.
And to reap, I would only need, what are the conditions again? So I would need...
That's it. As long as one has 4 or
That's
more.
what I thought, but I wanted to make sure before I started throwing cards out.
So the 3 conditions for reaping is at least 1 soul that has at least 4 or more points to one side or the other. all on the side of heaven or all on the side of hell.
Right. That's always the one I forget, but I remember the being at least a 4. So just because I'm desperate, I'm going to play a reap card.
Okay.
And we're going to reap that.
All right. So you get the Philanthropist.
Correct. Thank you.
And the other 2 go to Purgatory.
Right. And then I will draw back up to 5.
Okay. So I get first shot at the fresh souls. So first thing is using the devil. So I've got lustful or slothful. Nothing. Ooh,
oh, wow. That's a
rough.
really rough hand for all of us.
Okay. So if I have no option there, I cannot purchase because I don't have enough points. I can play a hand. Ugh. Okay. So let's see here. I would like to see what Mandi can modify so that I know which ones she could potentially be getting free points. And you could add to charity. So I would like to get control of the musician before Mandi has a chance to pull it over to the side of heaven. All right, so pride. Can I pull that off? Yes, I can. So I will be playing a full house using that wild for pride. So 3 sloth and 2 pride. So full house states. First thing is I gain an unholy relic.
Nice.
Devil's Wheel. 3 times per game, the Devil's Wheel can add 2 unholy points to any soul with no holy or unholy points. No holy or unholy. So any neutral soul can get 2 points.
Is that yes, that's your relic?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good. And then with a full house, I can add 3 to pride or sloth in this case with the cards that I've played. So 3 go onto here. 1, 2, 3. Using a sin, I don't have any. Using an unholy relic, I think. Yeah, you know what? Why not? I will use that once to add, and I get to add 2 unholy points to any neutral player. 1, 2, or neutral soul, I should say. Reaping no, drawing back up over to you.
Okay, well, I see this turn's not going to be very fruitful because I cannot use my Archangel. I cannot purchase a card, so I will play a pair. However, I will, well, that'll come later.
So playing a pair.
Playing a pair is going to give me a victory point.
Yep.
So that...
But... So using the Holy Relic, normally that would go to the discard pile and then start clogging up your hand
We're going to
in
slip
future
that
turns.
right into the scoring.
But with that, it's just straight to scoring. Doesn't go into the discard pile.
Right.
So,
So
nice.
and then I think that's all I can do really at this point.
Okay.
Yep. So these are gone and draw back up to 5.
All right. Back to me. Right. I don't have any that can be used. So no devil abilities that are usable. Purchasing.
Yeah, this is right. Let me show my hand here.
Purchasing, I think I will. I'm going to spend 3 on the musician to get an unholy relic.
Oh boy, this can't be good.
Getting Scold's Bridle. I'm getting worried with how many unholy or holy relics you're getting because they are all worth 2 points apiece,
Do you not see how many
right?
points you have at the bottom?
But I only have 2 unholy relics. The rest are 1-pointers. So you've got a lot of those going on. So I need to catch up a bit.
Step it up a bit, eh?
So Scold's Bridle. Twice per game, the Scold's Bridle can remove up to 3 holy points from a soul with the heavenly virtue of kindness.
Well,
I'll have to keep that in mind. All right.
not for the moment.
Yeah. No use right now, but could be later. I'll put that over here. Okay, so that was my purchase. Then playing. I'm going to go with 4 different, which lets me add 2. Let me confirm that. Yes, 2 unholy points. So I'm going to add 2 to envy. I have no sin cards to play. I do have an unholy relic to play, though. And it is instant. It could be done at any point, but I am going to do it now. So it's once per game, I can reap any soul. So I'm going to reap the shepherdess. So that will be worth, it's not marked, but it is worth 2 points. And I will reap that to bring it straight to hell.
Okay.
And we have the pharmacist coming in.
Good. I like where that's going.
Move that there. I will then draw back up, and it's over to you.
All right. So Archangel. Good. I can actually use one or the other at this point. Oh, well, hello. We're going to use that one. Thank you very much. And, let's see what I want. I'm just looking ahead here, by the way. Looking ahead, looking ahead.
Nerfenstein just watched the new Star Wars
Oh,
trailer.
I quickly
She's
come
quite
back.
excited about that, yeah.
That's very funny. Okay, so what I will do then is I will play 1, 2, 3. So I'll play 5 different.
By the way, Nerfenstein, loved your painting of the item meeples, for Tiny Epic Quest. Loved your painting of those.
Oh, I didn't see those. I'll have to check that out. So I can add 3 up to a single soul. So I can go 1, a 2, a 3. That's gone. And then I can use Intercession. I don't have Holy Relic. I do believe there is something that I can use here. I know it's not ideal, but I really, well, you know what? I don't know if I want to do that yet. No, I think we will leave that alone. That'll be the end of my turn, so I just need to draw back up to 5.
Okay.
3.
Get some more devil juice.
4. 5.
Okay, so let's see here. Lustful or slothful, there are none. Purchasing, I cannot. Playing a hand, as I've shown, that's not so useful. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard 3 cards. No sin. Do I wish to use any unholy relics? No. Actually, yes. I will use the Devil's Wheel. Lets me add 2 to a neutral soul. Yeah, I don't like that there. So I'll add 2 to the Musician, and then that's it. Drawing back up, over to you.
All right, using my Archangel. Yeah, that'll happen here. So making that a 5 on Humility. Purchasing a card I don't think is wise at this point. Play hand or draw 1 or discard. So I think I will play my hand. I'm going to play 2 pairs, which allows me to get a free Intercession, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Aha! Just do that.
All right.
So that is basically giving me either 2 to Humility or 2 to Pride. Oh, okay. What's
And can
happening
be used on Humility.
Right.
Used as Humility on your next play, so you get to draw back up.
Yes, sorry, I was thinking.
So keep in mind that you have this virtually in your hand right now.
Right. Right.
Robert says, poor musician. Heading towards hell.
I get to use it in 2 ways, really. Or do I? Yes. Well, I get to use it like it's in my hand for this, and then using it as an Intercession, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Right.
So you can use it in both steps.
Right. So at this point, it's sad as this is and hurts my soul to do so, but I don't have a choice. I will use it just as a pair.
A pair, okay.
And in doing that, I can actually gain 1 of these. However,
I was going to make a comment along those lines. So Robert
Actually, I will
does
put
say
that
that hell musicians are better. Everyone knows that. Yes.
So I will do that. I'm actually not going to use this because we only get to use 1 of these cards, you were saying, in the next, when we get to Holy Relics, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know yet. We're going to leave that right there for right now. So now we're at the Intercession stage. So this lets me use this. So I can actually add 2.
Yeah, you can.
There we go. So we're going to do that. Sorry, that doesn't go there. That goes here.
Yep.
And this is now
Assumption that is sainted.
Yes.
The pharmacist.
Coming here.
Oh boy, this is tight.
And we're drawing a new one.
Yes. But equally importantly, you get a new archangel.
I get a new archangel. Yes, thank you. Raphael, which is not going to do anything for me next round.
Well, maybe not now, but
Angel of
it's still
Healing.
good. And it's another 3 points.
That is true.
So Mandy just got that was the pharmacist, all the way up to 7. Gets another archangel.
Now, Holy Relic at this point I don't think is going to do anything for me, but let's just double check before I say that. Let's see. So would I be able to use this now? Because this is where, or should I have used that before? This is the point I gained from.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine? Okay,
Sure.
so I'm using this.
I'll give you
Relic.
a thumbs up on that.
Okay, this is a hard one for me because I'm trying to
You would do it when you trigger it, right?
When I trigger it.
Yep.
So then I'm trying to think ahead in case I
Right.
wanted to use another one, but at this point it wouldn't matter. So that's number 2, so this technically goes here.
Correct.
And now I draw back up to 5.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay, so I've got sloth or
hurts your soul.
lust. And there is a sloth there,
And
so I
my
will.
cards for anybody who's watching.
So Belphegor gave me a point on the astronomer.
Okay, that's unfortunate for me. Wow, this is not good.
Purchase a card? No, I will not. Play in a hand? I will. So I got the 1 point from Belphegor, bringing that over with the 1. However, knowing that this Holy Relic is sitting in Mandy's hand, which allows her to remove 1 point, 1 unholy point, if it's sitting at 1 to bring it back to neutral, I want to get it out of that range. So I'm going to play 4 different cards using a wild to represent sloth so that I can bump it up a bit more. So with 4 different, I get to add 2, bring that up to 3, out of range of that Holy Relic. No sin cards, and there are no unholy relic cards I wish to play. That is me.
Wow, all right. I cannot use any of my archangels. That's pretty sad. Purchasing a card, I can't do that. I'm actually going to discard because my hand is horrific. Wow, it's really, really bad. I'm going to get rid of 3 cards.
Okay.
I don't have any intercessions, holy relics. I don't think there are any that I can use. At least no, and I can't use that one. So I will now just draw back up.
Okay. So using a devil, sloth will then bump that up to 4, which is great. Purchase, I will, and I have a reasoning behind this. So I'll get into a bit of the strategy of how I'm playing this round out. You can see by what I have here, I cannot modify.
He's asking if we're playing all the souls. I didn't set it up. So.
A, B, and C. A, B, and C.
Okay.
So not using anything beyond A, B.
And just if you're looking at time-wise,
I put D?
I didn't.
No, I think it's just A, B, and C that I'm using.
And we're actually, there's only 2 left here.
Yeah,
in the
so we're
deck.
getting
we're
close.
getting close. Oh, and by the way, Hell Musicals, Jesus Christ Superstar, hello.
Okay, so yes, what I was saying is I have no way to modify the souls that are currently in play, except for the one that's currently in neutral. But as soon as I bring that to my side, Mandy will probably try and reap just to get rid of them. So I don't want to modify that. I can't modify the others. So what I'm going to do, because I do have a reap card in hand, I'm looking to gain that 1 soul. Before I do that, I'm going to spend these points. So I'm going to spend the 2, dropping that down to neutral to get a sin card. And it is Wrath. So I can use that as a Wrath card during step 3, playing my hand, and then I can add or subtract points. And that will, I could add to Pride. Oh, let's see here.
Lots of decisions.
Now that I've dropped the 2, that would have put me within range. But if I didn't spend the 2, I wouldn't have had that card. So either way. So playing my hand, I think all I'm going to do is draw a card.
Okay.
I'm going to draw a card. Then using a sin ability, Subtracting anything is irrelevant. I could add 2 to pride. I'll do it just to show you that I'm using the card. And then that will be worth points. Using an unholy relic, I will not be using any of those. And then reaping. So I will reap, which means this one goes to hell. These ones go to purgatory.
Yep.
We have a close game, and
Here we go.
we're on our final 2 souls.
Oh.
So if you don't have the full 3 to bring out the new batch of souls, that's fine. You just play until there are no souls left to fight over, and then count them up. So we've got 2 souls left, and 2, 3, 4. I'm already at 5 cards, so that's over to you.
Okay, so using Archangel, yes, I can do that here. Purchasing a card, I cannot. Playing a hand, yes, I will just play a pair, but this is where this is going to come into play.
Yep.
So gonna take that.
Yeah, those are slowly ticking up, eh? 1 point at a time.
Mind you, at this point, I really don't have to use it because we're at the end, and
Either
it's
way.
just gonna go in my discard, right?
Sure.
So you know what? No, I won't use it. Just put it in my discard because I'm gonna get it anyway.
No harm in using it.
So I know.
Either way, you still get the points.
True, but
Yeah.
just I may want to use something else instead.
Okay.
That's what I'm scared of. I'll use
Okay.
this and then I'm not able to use something. I won't be able to use something else.
Sure.
So now I don't have the intercessions. Now we're skipping over to here. Rolling doesn't seem feasible at this point, but I can basically add a point to that using my Holy Grail.
Okay.
Yes. And that'll just make that 2. And I think that's the end of my turn.
Okay, this is a very close game, and we're getting down to it. Let's see here. So, Sloth or Lust, I don't have either of those out there. Purchase, I cannot, not enough points. Playing a hand. I need to grab control of that. So I will play 4 different. That's going to allow me to add 2 unholy points. 1, oh, hold on. Before I do that,
Back it up.
let me see here. No, you know what? Forget you saw anything.
All right. Wink, wink.
I will not play. The reason, so I'll let you know what I'm thinking here. The reason is, right now I could use my unholy relic to get the exact same number of points I would have gotten playing my hand. So instead of playing my hand, I'll use the unholy relic to get those 2 points because I can do that on anything that is neutral. So that's the 3rd play of that. Gets me the 2 points there, but now I still have that hand, or not, to be able to play it later on that same soul. So I used that. That was the 3rd use. That goes aside. No reap, draw back up. I'm good. Over to you.
Okay, so I can use my Archangel here to bump that to 3. Purchasing a card doesn't seem like a good idea at this point, although it is 3 points, but play hand. Wow, that's pretty poor.
So Rapunzel in the chat just said that Ginger, which is her cat, is sniffing the phone, wondering why Ginger can see Daddy and not actually, or can hear Daddy and not see him.
Aww. Okay, so I will play 3 of a kind. But it's actually not doing anything for me.
Not anything here, yep.
Correct, but it will remove 1 holy point from any soul in play. So,
1 unholy point?
sorry.
Yep.
Holy or unholy in
Yep.
your case.
But the opponent's point is
The
what it
opponent
comes down to.
Sorry,
Yep.
I was reading ahead here. So that'll do that from yours.
Okay, so 1 down there.
And I don't have any intercessions. I will now, well, I think this is a horrible thing to do, but anyway, I'm going to use,
Yep.
the holy
So
relic
I
here.
did have it out of range of that because it was at 2. But because Mandi just played the 3 of a kind and removed 1 point, now it's within range of her holy relic that can then bump
Yep.
it back down to neutral.
So that's going to happen, and then I can't do anything else
You
there.
think it might be mean, but wait till you see what I do.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll be pretty bad.
Okay, over to me.
Yep.
Using a devil, I have nothing that can control anything. Purchasing, I no longer have any points to do so. Playing a hand. Now I might as well play that hand because I don't have that unholy relic anymore. So I will play 4 different cards using Envy to bump that up by 2.
Mm-hmm.
Sin I don't have, but Unholy Relic I do. Hey, look at this. Scold's Bridle, twice per game. Lets me remove 3 holy points from a soul with the virtue of kindness.
Oh,
That is down to
look where it
0.
went.
So that is neutral. Okay, so the race is on here to try and get these last
know,
souls. I'm going to draw back up, and it's over to you.
Okay, so I will use this here for 1. And I will not be purchasing a card. I will play my hand 1, 2, 3, 4 different.
Okay.
Kindness is one of them.
Yep.
So that'll allow me to add 2.
Okay.
1, 2. Yeah, we're going to try something and see if it actually works. And then with that being said, I can add 1 holy point here using my Holy Grail, which actually will remove this card. Because I've kind of skipped ahead here.
Okay.
Apologies.
Sorry.
So that's added to here.
Mm-hmm.
And I will reap.
Nice. Yeah. Because if you didn't, I was just going to take those right away again.
I need it.
Yeah, and then this one has gone to Purgatory.
Correct.
I think you might have the edge here.
I don't know. It was a little tight.
I had nothing that I could do my next turn
toss
anyway.
Anything there because I was just throwing
2
cards.
reap cards, 2 greed cards. Those weren't going to do me any good.
Yeah.
My next turn was going to be discarding my whole hand and drawing something.
It was
new.
either that I was actually going to do a roll. If I didn't have a good hand, I was just going to take a chance. But,
Okay, so all of our unholy relics are worth points. All of our devils or archangels are worth points. And any of the VP cards. So I did have a couple in here.
Yeah, I think I had 1 that I didn't decide to.
Those will be worth points.
Yeah, because I think you had quite a few of those.
Just 2.
Okay, I think I just had the 1. Yes.
Plus all of the souls that we reaped. We now get to add these up.
Interesting. Yikes.
All right, what'd you get?
I totally just lost count. I may have to count this over again. Okay, remember this. Okay, 45.
Oh, 10, 20, 30, 43. Yeah, there it is. 2-point win for the side of heaven.
That was so close.
Very close.
We can now ascend into heaven.
I'll get you one day.
Be gone, demon, be gone.
All right, there you go. Battle for Souls.
See, I may look like I'm bad on the outside, but I am truly good. So, I really enjoyed this game. At first, I had heard mixed reviews, and I know, yay, heaven. So I know Robert's in chat, and Robert, I had heard mixed reviews about it. I mean, kind of some were saying, okay, it wasn't for them, and not really talking about the gameplay so much. So I was like, well, I like the theme. So for those who don't know, so I do talk about it. I am Catholic, so yes, I do go to church, and so I know actually some of the history in what we're doing. So it's familiar to me. So I really enjoyed it. So at first I was worried, to be honest, because anytime a game involves religion, I always get nervous that it's going to be offensive. I'm not saying that this was going to be the case, but it just makes me nervous on what lines are being crossed. And I thought it did a really good job. And this game is actually, Dice Tower has the seal of excellency, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely, a plus. So for me, I really enjoyed the way that it played. I liked the whole, good versus, bad. I liked some of the historical context, and it's factual. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. I don't know much of the history at all, but I do love the game. I love the push and pull behind it. Like in those last 2 souls that we were fighting over, that literally made the game. If I had pulled that soul my way, then I actually would have won the game. So, and it came very close because I did have the ability to drop that back down to neutral and then try and pick away at it. So it did come down to that last battle. And the whole game does have that feel of, every single reaping does make a difference. So do you wait and try and get something to 7 so that you get the added benefit of another devil or archangel, which gets you points, but also gets you one more type of virtue or sin that you can then modify? or do you try and reap them just to get the 3 points quickly and try and get through them like that? So I love the game. Yeah.
So I didn't know that, Robert. So thank you. So Robert is also Catholic.
Okay.
So and that would explain the
Absolutely.
game and how it touched on points, and it didn't like there are just some games that border into that offensive territory, and I'm not cool with that. So this actually was really good, and it really hit on some really good points. So.
And I appreciate the art style behind it as well, using actual paintings that are in here and giving the backstory on it and when that they were from. If you wanted to learn more, you could look up each of those as well. So I think that's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So overall, for me, I enjoyed it. I do find I like the fact that you can change the amount of the length of time for the game. So if you want something a bit shorter, you're using less of the soul cards.
Yeah, so like I had shown at the start, each of the cards has a letter in the bottom, and you choose how many of those sets. You will use, you should use, for balance reasons, you should use the entire set. So if you're going to use A's, use the entire set of A's. So we used all the A's, B's, and C's, which, like I said, I believe in the manual it says that should be between a 60 and 90-minute game. Now, obviously, we're going longer because we're explaining along the way. So you could shorten the game if you wanted to, and it does go quite quickly. Now, in this game, we did kind of get stuck on one set of 3 that neither of us had a devil or archangel that could modify it, and we had nothing in our hands that could modify it, so there was a bit of sort of dead space in the middle. That doesn't happen too often. That was just purely the combinations that came out at that point. So it became a race to see who could get some cards to modify those cards at the time.
Right.
But other than that, it can go quite quickly. You can get a good pace going.
Yeah. So I definitely think that. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to touch on, but I think
I think that is it.
Pretty much covered it. Yeah. So definitely, I would
Hopefully
start with
we did the game justice.
Yeah. No. Nerfenstein, great video, and Robert says thank you so much. And definitely one if you're starting with it, maybe start with a shorter amount, so maybe just using the A's or A's and B's exactly to kind of get a feel for the game and then go from there. And then I know Robert had mentioned something potentially expansion.
Yeah, there's 4 mini expansions inside this printing anyway. This is the second edition. It has 4 different mini expansions that will modify. It'll either give you tokens that you can use, or there's hidden goals. There's a deck of cards that you can use for hidden goals that you go towards for end game scoring. So they'll modify how you can earn points as well. So there's more variability in the box as well, aside from what we had just played.
So if there's anybody who's looking for the game, we're going to put it in the description part of the video, so you can have access to it. Thank you, Robert, for joining us. I know it was a lengthier game, so we really appreciate that you took the time to join us and answer some questions. So thank you so much. And yay, we have something else in common. Yay, go Catholics! Oh, and Robert also said special powers as well.
The mini expansion. There's 4 different mini expansions in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So it does definitely change the variability in terms of how you can set up.
Which is nice. I mean, that's always something that people are looking for. Yeah. So that's it for tonight. But before we go, we just wanted to let you know where you can find us. So you can find me here every Monday night on Twitch and YouTube now, because we're streaming to both. Yeah. You can find me on YouTube as well as To Die For Games, as well as Facebook. On Twitter, Board Gamer Pinup Girl, Instagram, Board Gaming Pinup Girl. I'm also a member of the Dice Tower. I'm actually host of the Dice Tower. I do Board Game Breakfast, a segment, Lunchtime Gaming, and every 2 weeks on the Dice Tower podcast with Mrs. Suzanne Sheldon.
Very good. I'm on Instagram as Palom, P-A-W-L-O-M. Twitter is Palom21. Here every Monday night, now Twitch and YouTube. That seems to be going well, and chat seems to be doing well. The cross chat, I think that's working out well, so that's good. And so these videos will also be on the YouTube channel, and you can leave any comments there. Do we want to tease next week's?
Yes. So next week's game, if you are all available, I feel like we had a few people missing tonight, will be London.
Yes.
So it is actually a reimplementation of the original London. There are a couple of new elements there, so you will get to show you all that goodness. Rodney actually showed me how to play this game. We're going to go through this game together. So yeah, looking forward to that next week.
There you go.
All right, so that's it. We'll see you next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again to Robert and all those in the chat, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.